other kind of microphones too.
Oh,
The
yeah.
handhelds will run through Ableton and then they'll run through there. So like anything I make too goes through the audio interface on top of it.
Yeah.
And then it plays through there clearly. So it's not like niggas are hearing my speakers.
Oh.
They're hearing the music directly from
the shit. Cause you got the what's that? Is it the M audio up there?
yeah, the Scarlet.
The Scarlet.
The Scarlet, yeah. And that's running out of that into the Scarlet. And the Scarlet's going out into the computer.
Shit.
Shit.
Yeah, you gotta see it.
I got some shit.
Like me with the camera. You gotta.
But I did the same with like all my keyboards. So like all my keyboards,
Yeah.
I can play them all from that keyboard. So I can have that set up right here, and I can just select within whether it's the MPC or my computer.
Yeah.
I can just select. Like I have a template set up, so I'll just go and I'm like, oh, if I want to play the Juno, I just go to it and I can play the sounds, and then I can like play some chords, loop those chords, and then go over to the Juno and manipulate, like open the cutoff, change the sound. You know what I mean?
All from that keyboard.
Yeah, all from that keyboard. Yeah, so
it's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like a keyboard.
Yeah. You know, I like analog, but they're like old school analog. Like those are from the 80s. And then that one's not old school, but it's like a recreation of an analog keyboard.
Yeah.
Like an old Moog. And then that's this thing called the Moog Matriarch.
The one at the bottom?
Yeah. And that's like for basses and shit. Like it has those like really cool, like those Travis Scotty.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That kind of shit. It's like good for those.
Damn. That's it. Hey, man. That's how
I love, yeah. I love
this yourself.
Yeah, man.
You gotta reinvest in yourself.
And on top of that, when you buy vintage keyboards, and they're getting so expensive, it's getting crazy, but they appreciate. So yeah, so like
it's a real investment.
But I bought that in like 09. Like people, if I would have bought shit in 09, like if I would have spent $10,000 on keyboards in 09, I'd have 50 right now. Like, but those I think I got them. I traded something in, and I like at some music shop early when I got out here.
Yeah.
And I think I paid like $850, $900 for one, and then I paid like $800 for the other. Something like that.
Yeah.
The top one you could definitely get $3,500 for now, like no question. And then like in the next 5 years, it's gonna go to $5,000. Like because niggas don't have them.
That's after the keyboard.
Man, it's a thing. Bro, there's a keyboard called the CS80. It was using like multiple like Stevie Wonder records and like you know that even that what's his name? Not John Lennon. Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Things we're having a wonderful Christmas time. The sound in that is the CS80. Yeah, but that keyboard now, generally if you want to get one in good condition, and it's like over 300 pounds, but you would spend 110,000. It's a fucking keyboard, bro. That cost like $10,000 when it came out.
Yeah.
Different, yeah. This is, 10
10 times
times, literally. You still, you know what I'll do too? If I move this up, this one, fuck up that one a little. And I won't lean back like that. Yeah, we'll both run.
Let's go. Hey, we should.
And we're good. Let's get it.
Alright, let's get it. So they gonna cut
you want a
every...
bottle of water, by the way? Yeah, I got
oh, right there.
Yeah. And there's some in the fridge too if you want to go.
The coverage cameras, those are gonna go out. They go every 30 minutes. They only record 30 minutes in 4K.
Oh, in 4K.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna run forever, but you said you can see yourself on that one. When I record, that screen's gonna go black.
Gotcha.
So if you see that camera, if you see yourself again, that means that camera went out, and then
gotcha.
We'll cut it pretty soon. So I keep an eye. Sometimes you'll see it, then I'll be like, all right, I'll just wrap it up, or I just cut to the wide. And that's it. All right, let's get it.
Let's get it. This up the way.
Hey, what we do? doing the Joe Rogan for real.
Do you mind smoking on your podcast or you don't?
No, man. Hey, man, this podcast is just the real you. That's why I come to my guests.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you want to see them.
I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to, I don't want to be like, oh man, nigga gonna ask me some crazy questions where I gotta use my media training. It's like, nah, it's gonna be like, cool, chill.
My media training. Very sure. I'm at the point now, like, you know what? Yeah. Fuck media training.
So I'm gonna let it loose.
I'm gonna listen. If I have a thought, I'm gonna share.
Let me see.
Yo. Yeah. Hey. This is Maestro. Yo. Yeah. I hear you waiting.
Yeah, I know. That's one.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yo. What's good? This is Maestro. Yes, like it's not. Yo. Yo. Hey. Can you hear me? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, there we go. Right there.
Out of space in your voice.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What podcast? All right, yeah. All right, bet. We're recording. Here. Recording on sound. Recording on all cameras.
Wait, that camera went out. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, oh shit.
Shit.
Already?
Let's get going. Man, fuck.
All right. Here we go. What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Giving Game the Podcast. I'm your host. Today's guest is a special one, y'all. I like to call this man a young legend, young GOAT. I mean, this man's been killing it since a young buck in Gatorade commercials with Michael Jordan. I mean, he was on arguably the best TV show ever, The Wire. I mean, you've seen him in Suburgatory, Fear the Walking Dead, Unsolved, John Henry, 2K23. I mean, that success has also followed him into his music career, with his music landing in commercials for Progressive, Taco Bell, and the first Purge movie soundtrack. Ladies and gentlemen,
Maestro. Man, that what a hell of an intro. Thank you. I might keep doing this.
Oh my God.
When you hear it all together.
Yeah.
Nah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No. I have to give you flowers, brother.
Thanks,
flowers, man. Yeah, you've been doing it for a while, so
yeah.
I always want to give everybody their flowers.
Nah, I appreciate it.
I like I did for Denzel. I don't think I ever told you. Like I grew up watching you on TV and shit. So now that we do, it's trippy. It always trips me out. I'm like, damn.
And that's the funny part. Even with like me and Denzel, same thing. It's like we would always see each other, and then when I moved out here, we would see each other at auditions and stuff. In the beginning, we wouldn't really like, we would just kind of like head nod, keep it moving. Yeah. But like we knew what each other had done. Yeah. And I'll never forget. One day we was at some audition. It was like 3-4 years in. Yeah. He driving by. He stopped. Like, hey, man. I'm like, yo, what's good, bro? Yeah. It's like, man, we keep seeing each other. We got to actually, like, kick it or something. I'm like, yeah, that sounded about right. And then after that, we started kicking it. But then, like, you know how we both are. So then we just started instantly working on, like, projects, whether it's music videos or whatever together. What? But it's funny because same thing. It's like, man, like my dad took me on Christmas. I was so mad to go see the damn Great Debaters.
What?
I was like, yo, and this young, I'm also acting too. Yeah. I probably auditioned for it. So I'm like, who this guy? Whatever. And two, why am I doing this on Christmas? This is not what I'm trying to do. This is not how I want to spend this day. No. But it's like nothing but respect for him, man. It's like, it's great to see. And just to see people, it's like you were saying, it's staying in the game. Yeah. It's like, man, it's a blessing, but it's also like, it's a lot of it's just consistency. Yeah. We were talking about that earlier. It's just like you're still working. You know what I mean? Yeah. Working towards it. So it's like.
And you don't see the same people, so you might as well, befriend them. It doesn't make no sense to be like, man, fuck that.
Yeah, not at all.
See it all the time.
And not only that, when you get older too, like, growing up in it's a little different because you think everything's competition. Yeah. But once you get older, you realize like, we're all such different types, like in general. Yeah. Like I'm not worried about I'm not gonna sabotage a self tape I help you with.
Yeah.
We can do this, go for the same road.
Yeah.
Nigga, we two completely different types.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's another thing. And you can run into, I do think you probably can run into that with like, if you have a friend who's exactly your type. And that's a little different.
Yeah.
But it's like, like anybody, like whether it's Pat, whether it's like me, we ain't in competition with each other.
No.
Now, there might be some people that's close to y'all that y'all see all the time, but like, no. So if that's not the case, we can only, if they're gonna pick your version of the situation, I hope they pick you. You know what I mean? And if they're gonna pick my version, I would hope that you feel the same.
Yeah.
And if they picked me, they didn't want you.
Yeah.
And if they picked you, they didn't want me. Like, because it's too many. What we were talking about earlier too. It's too many variables.
Yeah.
It's not always. I love saying it. Will Smith could have done the greatest audition ever in history for Titanic.
For Titanic.
And James Cameron would have been like, my man, thanks for coming in. Jamie Foxx could have done it. He's one of the most talented motherfuckers in the world. And it would have been like, man, I hate to see, maybe we can find something for you, but you can't be Jack.
No.
It's a variable that's not.
Yeah,
and
not.
Steve Buscemi couldn't have been Jack. You feel me? Like, there's no, like.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if
they want you, they want you.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna start it like I did with this. I'm gonna try to encapsulate as much of your career in this time I got you as much as possible.
1994.
Yeah, right. When did it all start? Like, so I always say, where you from?
I'm from Chicago, born and raised,
right.
South Side.
All right.
It's born and bred. My mom's a registered nurse. She went to Northwestern Hospital. She's retired. And my dad, engineer, plumber, electrician, all the above. But I always shout them out because it was their plan. They literally named me Maestro, and was like, and my dad was trying to sign me up for music lessons before I was born. Like, they always tell the story. Like, there's a place called Sherwood Music Conservatory in Chicago, and they had seen something in the paper about it. Blah blah. It was like really good, like, conservatory for like young kids. They had like a wiggle worm program. So my dad's like, we gotta go down there. So he goes down there to sign up, and the lady's like, hey, so what's okay? So how old's your son? And my mom's standing next to him. She's pregnant, and they're like, yeah, we don't sign. When he's born, we'll talk. But like, we just want to make sure there was, you know what I mean? What's your name again? I know what he was. Now I'm older. I'm like, oh, I see what you was doing. But like, that was his plan, like entertainment. And so he started with music, and none of them are tall, so we knew it wasn't gonna be hooping. So
ain't no Muggsy Bogues,
right? Nah, it wasn't gonna be hooping. It wasn't gonna be football. So he basically, when I was able to, started with piano lessons I did like conservatory stuff and piano lessons started around 2-3 years old. And then around 4 or 5, I was, you kind of start to come into, like, kind of have a cute kid, like people would tell. So they're like, like, start trying to get them in print jobs and blah blah blah. And so then start doing that, and like, I don't know if you saw on my Instagram. It was for
I did my research.
It was for this agency though, called Stewart, and I was like 4 or 5 years old, and they were like, they told my dad, once again, shout out to Floyd. They told my dad, like, we don't take him that young. My dad just kept showing up. Okay, well, like, finally, we'll give him an audition.
And that was when you posted on your page.
And
why my parents ain't in here?
Exactly. And I did the audition, and my dad told me, it was crazy because apparently we did it. They were like, thanks, okay, well, thanks for coming in. And later we found out, I guess the lady went back, and whoever was like running the agency was like, yeah, so what's up with that kid? And she was like, oh, well, we let him go. And she's like, you let him go? Somebody came out and ran out. Was like, hey, excuse me, we wanna.
What?
And I got signed that day.
And was that agency in Chicago?
Yeah, that was in Chicago. And I got a lot of my work with Stewart. Early in the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So you were already got with them in Chicago.
Yeah, I got
with them work.
And I started. And so basically, what it segued to music was first, and then it was like vocal lessons started around 7, something like that. But in that time, I was doing print, and I started doing a lot of commercial work because once again, it was like I could hit my marks, I could do the stuff, I was charismatic. Yeah. So then I started doing that, and then that's when I got the Michael Jordan ad, and then when I got the Michael Jordan ad, that led to me doing like late night shows, and that's why like I did Jay Leno like 5-6 times. Yeah, and so but on Jay Leno, shout out to Jay Leno, huge like major support of my career. Like literally, he brought me on multiple times, and just would make it like a thing. But he would also let me perform. So I would go and I'd sing, Jailhouse Rock or Jackie Wilson song. Yeah, and I would perform on the show, and then I'd, be there with the guest. Like I did nights with Pamela Anderson and people that's like back in the it's like, oh like, word. Yeah. Like Jennifer Love Hewitt. That was crazy. But yeah, so started doing that. Then I got my own television show called Guys Like Us. And that was in '98. And that was on UPN.
Yeah. People don't know about UPN.
People don't know about UPN.
They don't know about UPN.
That was before you had UPN, then you had the WB. UPN had all the black shows like Moesha, Malcolm and Eddie.
What's it? One-on-one.
One-on-one, and that was later. So when I was on there, it was Malcolm and Eddie and Moesha were like the shows, and my show, which it was like literally my show, like my name on the show was Maestro Harris. Yeah, but the crazy part was the show Bumper Robinson. You know Bumper Robinson? No. You definitely see him in a million things. But he was in people always know for the Michael Jackson documentary, the Michael Jackson show. No, remember they made the movie about the Jackson 5 movie. That's what I'm trying to say. Back in the day, he was like in that. Another person acted his whole life, whole career. There's a lot of voiceover stuff now.
Okay.
But him and he's really big in the '90s. Him and then you know who Chris Hardwick is, who does all the Talking Dead and all the white guy.
The Talking Dead, the after show.
Yeah. And he does like all that kind of.
Him.
So the storyline is 3.5 Men, bro. Like it's the Dan Schneider show. So Dan Schneider created it, and it's literally 2.5 Men. So my dad has to go out of the country to build a dam. Because he does construction and engineering.
Yeah. What? Like my dad. Your actual dad.
And I need you to take care of your little brother while I'm gone. They have a bachelor pad, him and this white guy, and because UPN is one white guy. And the storyline is I come in and I make smoothies without the top. I do all the shit. I ruin it. Well, what's this girl's underwear doing? All this kind of stuff. But like, it's crazy to see like the formula just work together. Now, you know what I mean? But it did a full season. My parents didn't want to move out here. Like they didn't want to move me out here really specifically.
Because you were in Chicago with this. You booked that in Chicago.
Yeah, I booked that in
Chicago.
Chicago.
Did it shoot in Chicago or did it shoot out here?
It shot out here at Culver Studios, right next to Mad About You. Fun fact. But so check it out. At 7, I was going to school Monday through Thursday. Friday, I would fly out Friday night. I'd be here Saturday for the table read, and then Sunday, of course, flew me out first class. Had my own limo driver there from the airport to and my dad like later so I so much respect for him because the things you don't realize once again. I was saying when you're young, I'm just acting, I'm doing the thing, but it's like he had the limo driver who always drove me in Chicago when I had shows and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. He made sure in the contract she was the one who drove us on everything. So he made sure the studio paid her. He made sure there was so many things. And then he got cool with these black drivers out here who had picked us up one time. Because you get those hit or miss drivers or those, especially we talking early like '90s too. So you get some of those drivers who also kind of like, why am I picking y'all up type deal. Found this cool husband and wife couple, Mel and Ruth. Shout out to them. I was cool with them, like where this come from. Got them on the studio, so all this is a brother picking us up doing, you know what I mean? Just things that I didn't realize at the time. But anyway, flying first class every week. So then Friday I get in. Saturday, we do the table read. Sunday, mind you, they're also sending scripts under the door late at night because of rewrites. There's no email, my guy.
Oh my.
So we just so my dad, so like the next morning sometimes my dad would be like, we gotta go over these lines and make sure I knew all my lines. I never had a script in my hand when I rehearsed. He was like, my dad was like, no, we're not doing that. And we would film on Sundays in front of a live audience. And then I'd fly back, and that's double time for everybody involved. Then I'd fly back Saturday night or Sunday night. I'd be back at school on Monday. Did that for 13 weeks.
13 weeks at 7.
At 7.
Shit.
Yeah. 98 was a good year. 98 was a good year.
So when did you transition and come to LA?
That happened in 2009. So after once I graduated high school, I graduated in June. I moved out here end of June, and then by July, I turned 18 in July, and so literally it was like right when I was ready to go. Like we had already come out, looked at spots.
Yeah. So after high school.
I actually but in between
you in Chicago.
I was in Chicago and I was doing everything and just flying back and forth if there was something I need to do. And then after that show, I didn't do I'm still doing like the late night show Maury and Sinbad.
Yeah.
But I was doing commercials, but I didn't do TV for a little bit. And that was from I was 7, 8. Yeah. Oh no. So then I did a couple movies. So then I did around 9 I did Ali. And then I played young Cassius Clay. And then after that I did I was also in barbershop. I did that when I was like 10. 10 or 11.
All the iconic movies.
Yeah, and there's funny stories of both of these though. So Ali. This was I can't remember my dad told me the story, but we went down there for some background opportunity. They were shooting a movie in Chicago. And I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was, we went down there and I guess for a fitting for something. And the wardrobe lady saw me. And I guess she works on all of Michael Mann's movies. And she goes, what's he here for? And she's like, has Michael seen him? Something like that.
And this is when you're going to go.
I'm going to go do something. It's for Ali. This is for Ali. It's for Ali, but it's like I don't know if it's like kid on bus. My parents just trying to get me in. You know what I mean? Somewhere it's an opportunity, and you gotta remember not as much stuff was shooting in Chicago at the time. Yeah. And so, I don't. It was like a weird thing. They were like, "Has Michael seen him?" Like, the lady was like, "Hey, like he would be good for something else." And then took a picture of me. Some moves were made. They started fitting me for something else, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, like he could do young Ali."
What the? But you were there for a fitting for barbershop?
No, I was there for a fitting for Ali, but for a completely different.
For a different role.
And Ali, it was like some background, whatever. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Ended up, I forgot what other. There was some other small logistics that happened, but like, ended up happening. And then crazy with that movie is even crazier is because then we did the scenes in Chicago. Yeah. We're like on the bus. They showed me the Emmett Till photo. That whole thing. That was freezing. That was in Chicago. Then after that, the scene where my father's painting the White Jesus, that was filmed in Miami. So they flew me out to Miami, mind you. It wasn't as glamorous because I was a kid. Yeah. But still, it was lit because I'm like, I'm in Florida. I'm close to Disney World. Literally. And they flew us out there. Bro, when I tell you, me and my dad spent a week in the hotel. Never got the call. Kicking it. Like every day after a certain time, they call me. Like, okay, you're released for the day. We go to the arcade, do some stuff, blah, blah. Come back. Okay, you're H day. You're good for the day. Ended up, they said they didn't have time in the schedule to shoot it. Michael will be flying you back out. Flew back to Chicago. Came back. Like 4 or 5 days. Nothing. 6th day, we're like, all right, we're going to just go to the arcade. Something happened. My dad, we forgot something. I
Yeah.
can't remember. So we turn around, we come back, and when we come back, people are at the front desk are like, "Sir, they're looking," because my dad didn't have like a cell phone. Like, he had a pager.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, like
this is
it's
2000,
99, 2000. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like it wasn't. You call the hotel room, and so got there. We ended up shooting the scene. Everything worked out fine. But they went to Africa the next day, so there was no way they could have shot it if we didn't get it that day. Crazy, just a crazy random story. Then I also, fun fact, to bring it back around, I always said, man, one day I really want to work with Giancarlo Esposito. Like, I think he's one of the greatest actors ever. Yes. No, bro, I go back, I fucking watch Ali, and I'm like, oh, he's my dad. Like, bro, and it's like you're more mad because you're like, I didn't really act with him. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, hopefully I get 2 shots at this one, but I was like, damn, like, but I was like, it's cool. Yeah. Like, but, and it's also, he's one person too. Like, you see him in so many movies, and then you just finally see how he got that real break when Breaking Bad changed his like trajectory. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, was a vet anyway. Was good anyway. And like, even like in Nothing to Lose, he can play so many different characters.
He's a very good character. Like, he's
very cold. But like, that name meant nothing. Nothing. But like, it meant very little in Ollie. Yeah. In comparison to what that means now. Yeah. Like, and it's just like cool to see how even later in your career, later, and like, let's be real, there's probably so many other things he's done where he thought like, oh, this is the one.
Like Spike Lee joined.
Yeah, and it's just like,
that shit was funny.
We remember you. We remember your character. Yeah. But people were like, Giancarlo is no. Yeah. Like, and it's just like, but he still got it. Yeah. And now he's like, they have him leading NBC series and stuff. Like, he's a draw, you know? Yeah. He's a quote unquote name actor. He's a name actor. Yeah, and it's like, that's great to see. But so after that I did Barbershop. And then Barbershop was another weird story where I'm only telling these stories because just kind of just bring it around to something later. But it's like, on Barbershop, I'll never forget, we sat there and waited to shoot my 20-second scene. Like, I bring Eve her apple juice. And I go, you're welcome, my beautiful black sister. Yeah. Which also, my dad came up with that line. He was like, act like the guy gets it. Shout out to Floyd. But we waited there for hours. I'm talking about hours. Definitely over 10 hours. Like, didn't shoot anything. And like, it was kind of like, oh, maybe it'll happen. Maybe. My dad was like, no, we'll wait. And we waited there all day. And I could only imagine him trying to keep a 10-year-old entertained. Now that I'm older. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, we waited. Everybody, but it's one of those. It's just like everything is like, nothing ever happens the way you think it's gonna happen, and it's persistence of being like, no, well, wait. I did Suburgatory. I got booked as a co-star to say hello in the pilot. That was it.
Wait.
Hello.
You got booked as a co-star in Suburgatory
to say hello.
To say hello for the pilot.
For the pilot. And that was it.
And you had to do like 30 fucking episodes.
Bro, the second episode, and I'll never forget, Emily Kaepernick, shout out to her. She's like, oh no, she's like, there's gonna be some fun stuff for Malik. Like, we're definitely gonna bring her back, because she knew my password for guard. She's like, no, we're definitely, because they made a lot of snitch jokes in the show too. Like, it's pretty funny. But she was like, no, we're gonna find some stuff, bro. When I tell you, the second episode we shot, it ended up being the third one. It was like all about Malik in the newspaper and all about blah blah, and then slowly went from co-star to recurring, and then got bumped up. Then we got season 2, and then then got bumped up, and then season 3, I got a whole family. Tim Meadows played my father. Yeah. But you know what? I sat around all day to say hello.
Wow. For one fucking line.
Should I be doing one line at that point in my career? No.
Because this is coming after. This is after The Wire.
Yeah. I live in LA. I'm like, what, 2004, 13, 14, something like that. So I'm like 22, 21.
So when you got that audition, did you know well, I mean, you probably didn't know the magnitude, but what did it say? Was it like co-star possible recurring?
No,
or was it
like a one-off. Like that's what it was supposed to be. And really? I went and I did. Look, I literally went in and said 5 hellos, and I was like, why am I doing this in my head? But then at the same time though, it's like, you know what, man? You know when you get those breakdowns. It's an ABC show. Yeah. It's da-da-da. It's the
That's what, because I was about to say, you didn't let your ego get in the way, like, man, I'm on the wire.
Because at the same time, it's like, no, like, what have you done for me lately? And that's the whole industry. And like, and you know, like people, that's what people have to always remember. Like, you're only as good as the last thing you've done and how recent that was and how much money that made. It's like that, and, you know what I mean? And that's it. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's people who can sing people under the table, but they don't do numbers. That. You can act people under a table, but guess what? This person draws.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's a business.
It's a business. We don't, it's like, and I think that was something, doing it for so long, you start to learn. It's like, just like any other business, like, as much as I love the art of it, because I am a creative on both sides, you start to realize, like, the only reason they make your movie is so they can sell shit. Like, it's not like, no movie was ever so good it had to be made. It had to make sense. Now, when people make them themselves, then that's a different story. You know what I mean? Or when they find like when a true group of like, but people, even the people who are gonna fund that, still are gonna be like, I'm at least gonna break it. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get my money back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't lose. Like what? Even if we kind of lose, we'll make it back on international. Like, we gonna do something. But if it's not that, you gotta remember, man. Like, you only get your news because it's sponsored. That's why there's commercials. You only get your fucking show because it's sponsored. Yeah. Your show's not needed. Niggas gonna buy this Coca-Cola. Ooh. You see what I'm saying? like that's what it is. Niggas don't need your show. Niggas gonna buy this Coca-Cola. Bruh, that's happening.
Damn. Like that's why advertisement, man. That's why
they're gonna buy these pharmaceuticals. Yeah. Like this is gonna happen. Yeah. So that's also why when you come with a script and you're wondering, man, you taking all the heart out of my shit. This ain't got no buzz. Because niggas in this age demographic don't like dealing with that reality on this channel. You're not about to sell XYZ on CBS because you know what? Now you're fucking with football. You see what I'm saying? You're fucking with bags that are so much bigger than you. Way bigger than you. We're not doing this episode. You need to rewrite this. We're not pissing off these people. We're not going to cast this kind of person because there's too much money involved. And we're not, and we know who our fan base is. Yeah. It's the same way it's like, you're not going to go put a whole white show on BET. You know that's not the fan base.
Exactly.
You're going to fuck up the bag. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing. And that's why when you watch like the Golf Network, you see ads for Charles Schwab and Titleist. And because the type of people who watch this. I don't see this when I watch TV One. God damn it. It's very, it's alarming.
I don't see this on my TV. Charles Schwab.
What? Invest what, nigga?
Where's the Chase commercial? It's like,
there you go. But it's a different type of money. Different type of money, and that's why they get different types of people, and that's why it's all, and that's why I feel like so many people don't understand. It's like it's all based on data. So like at the end of the day, especially with the internet now, like we were even talking about, like there's a place for everyone. Yeah. Now, no, everyone will not be Brad Pitt. Everyone will not be Denzel Washington. And the reason I only say that is because it's like they also fit Denzel was a model actor. You know what I mean? Like that's a lane that if you got that, good for you. Exactly. Aim for that. Yeah. But it's like Jamie Foxx could never be Denzel Washington. He didn't have the look for it. Yeah. But he was damn good at being Jamie Foxx. Exactly. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like there's avenues in all of it. It's just you gotta find what avenue resonates for you, and then because every character is somebody. So if you seem predisposed to play XYZ type of character really well, someone identifies with that. Yeah. So you can own that lane.
That's facts.
You know what I mean?
You just gotta, like you said, you just gotta own whatever lane.
And if you own a lane, the best part about that is if you actually own a lane and you own it well enough where you make a lot of money off of owning that lane, they will put you anywhere. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Now, you're not, but he's not good looking. Who cares? Yeah. It's working.
It's working. It's making money.
It's making money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's making our advertisers happy.
Yeah. And
that's all we care about. You know what I mean? Matters. And then yes, we want to win some Emmys and some shit for it too. But that's more of an afterthought, and that's more of a keeping the brand healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, we still win.
We'll get this money.
Yeah, we're gonna get this back. Yeah. That's gonna happen.
The accolades and all that stuff
can come later.
We'll be good.
Exactly, and that's even how I feel like even people who want to do this, like you don't get an entertainment because you want to be famous. Like, a lot of people do. Yeah. But you're doing it ass backwards because at the end of the day, you're looking for accolades for work you haven't put in. You want to be famous for fucking what? What do you do well? Show me. Like, honestly, and we're in a weird place in society where there's a whole lot of that now, more so than I feel like, because it's easier to do most things. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we all have the bars just lower because we all have a lot more access. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but you still see the difference between good content and subpar content. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's a million people who are going to do a podcast not going to look like this. You know what I mean? There's a million people who are going to shoot a self-tape. It's not going to look like me and Denzel. Exactly. You feel me? Like there's levels, but you can't be coming into this looking for people to like chasing people's accolades. You can't, like, that's not the point. Yeah. Because if you do that, not only will you do probably anything to get it, which is a problem, extremely dangerous territory, and people fall into it every day, and then they blame other people for it. Yeah. It's you want it. You want to be what you look at or what you perceive and what you think is a lifestyle that you want, but also like. What work have you done to get it? So you want to come in being like, I want to make stuff that is impactful, that I enjoy some shit. Like even now, I'm kind of like on a thing, unless it's like a really crazy bad, or unless it's like really relevant. Because I know the pieces in my career I need now. I need relevancy, or we always could all use some money. Yeah. So if it's one of those things, it's different. But I really do try to go for the things I really go like. No, like I'm happy when I get an audition for something I'd actually watch. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. And like that to me is, if you do it like that, you should watch a movie and be like, man, I want to be able to do that. Yeah. Opposed to, man, Leonardo DiCaprio got dinosaur bones in his living room. Don't get me wrong, a nigga would love some dinosaur bones, but realistically, it's I'm more impressed with his body of work. I'm more impressed, like even with, I always like try to change people's perception to that. Like when you say I love somebody, an artist or that girl. Oh man, they're so great. Oh man, they're my favorite. Yeah. But why? Like really, why? Like what is it you respect? Yeah. Are you in awe because you don't think you can do it? Is it easier for you to say, I'm impressed? Because then that takes the stress off of you to do anything? Or are you impressed because they're rich and they're famous and other people seem to like them? Yeah. Or, and this is what generally mine is, are you impressed because they got there? And for me, I'm always impressed because you got there. Even if I hate all of your content, I will never disrespect anybody who got there. Yeah. Now, people got all different kind of ways of getting there, but you put up with the shit of whatever your lane was, and you got there. And I know that took, especially if it's rooted in a skill, I know that took a lot of trial and tribulation to get there. You know what I mean? Even
you know what people just to get a certain amount of success. You know what it takes to So when you see somebody that's obtained like a crazy amount, astronomical amount of success, you're like, y'all respect that because I know what it takes.
I know what it takes to just get here.
So I can only imagine what it takes to get
there.
So that's like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I look. I was like, oh yeah.
I see myself.
Well, I'm gonna keep this recording.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hit record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, no, this is good one.
Advertisement. Oh, like, shit, yeah, that one.
It's what it is, bro.
All right, bet.
But yeah, it's if you know what it takes to get, like you said, you know what it takes to get here. If you've gotten this far, you've sacrificed a lot, you've worked hard a lot, you've learned a lot. You know what I mean? And I feel like anybody who wants to be in entertainment, like that's one thing they should be mindful of, like how much, like you got to be ready to work, like. There's gonna be way fewer glamorous moments. Nothing ever looks like a picture anyway. Let's be real. Yeah. Like even shit we be at or that we've probably been at that we've taken a video of and we're like, man, this is a fire ass video. But you remember right after you took that video, like life continues. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's like it was dope, but it looks better on camera probably. You know. And I just think over time, like you'll learn that. I'll go somewhere.
I'll bring it back.
Shit, where was I headed? Basically, no, but I was gonna say.
You said for like newer actors, like for them to know, like it's not.
Oh yeah, it's not as glamorous as it all appears. So, there's gonna be a lot more work and like grind involved than just it's not just the one thing. Yeah. Everything is a combination of things. So it's like it's not just like, oh, you go to acting classes and you get an acting. That's it. Like no. You know what I mean? It's going to the right places. It's knowing what circles are worth being in. It's learning from your peers. Yeah. It's it's learning another skill within what you want to do, which makes you better at what you want to do. It's just a process. It's like like how you were saying with it, like you start and you gotta just start and you gotta go for it. You can't worry about like how you're perceived or how you're like you gotta just do it because at the end of the day, no one gets anything when it starts. No one understands.
Nobody gets it. They're like, what are you doing? But then once it's far along and it blows, like, oh shit. But that's why you gotta keep that tunnel vision
exactly
and know what your intent and what your goal is. Locked in on what you see for yourself. That's all that fucking matters. 100%. Everybody else don't have to see it. Eventually, people.
Eventually they'll see it.
They're gonna see it. They're gonna be like, and then even
slightly resent it after they do.
Yeah, they're like, oh damn, hey, can I hop on the podcast now? No, too late.
No, bro.
On the ground level, so it is what it is. But you also will meet people along the way that are willing to help you. I've noticed. So like, I started my gun range.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I was doing that, and I was just trial and error. I was doing it. I wanted to teach people, and start to grow. I was like, I gotta make this a business now because it started to turn into a thing. I'm having hella people show up, so I'm like, all right. And as more people start to come, people will start to reach out to me. Hey, can I come do videos for you? Can I film the thing for you? And I was having meetings with people. Like, look, these motherfuckers had PowerPoint presentations. Like, crazy. Yo, look, this is what we can do. Hey, can we make your shirts for you? Can we do your
right?
Oh, the homie like, yo, hey, I can make a dope logo for you for shit.
And that all came off the strength of starting and building.
And the people will fall, like they say, build it and they will come. Yeah. You feel me? Like that, and that's that. Like you said, that shit is just starting, and everything will fall into place. But as long as you know where you're headed.
Yeah, and like I said, have the right intentions. Because like if you want to be rich and famous, and this is just word to the wise for anybody who wants to do this, you can focus on getting rich, and then you can put that money into making yourself famous in your work. Don't try to do music. Don't try to act because like it's the grind that's gonna come with it is gonna make you want to stop it anyway. You're gonna waste a lot of time because your heart's not in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like in that, as cliche as that sounds, no, it's like like I tell people this all the time. Like, people are like, man, I'm trying to learn that. I'm trying to get into that. No, you're not. Because if you're just trying to get into that, nigga, you do it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's facts because I know even with myself, like, I'm gonna lock in and I'm gonna figure this out. And when I start to and I care to, I do. Mm-hmm. But if I'm kind of trying to make myself do it because I'm looking for, prime example, things. I'm such a creative. Things like I understand the economics of it, but things like cryptocurrency don't move me. It can't move me to go really learn it and do, but like it doesn't resonate with me. I don't care enough. Like I will. During the pandemic, I said I'm gonna learn cryptocurrency, and I'm gonna figure out. And I know too many people who getting bagged. I'm like, come on, bro. I'm not a dumb guy. I'm like, I need to. But man, I'll sit there and I'll start watching YouTubes on it. I do blah blah blah. And the next thing I know, I'm watching YouTube. So I'm like, hey, how does this synth do da da da? And then you start to realize like your brain, your heart and your brain's not in it. It's not. So you gotta. So what you need to do is where your heart and your brain is. You need to figure out how to monetize that. Exactly. You know, and that's it. Because it's like I said, the same with music. Like, even if you notice, like the people who make music who don't actually skillfully make music, generally speaking, if they do get famous, it's more because they're like 6ix9ine or there's something like that. Like they're shocking characters. And that's like fine if that's an angle you want to run with. But like once again, if you're like, that's the way to do music if you want to get rich and famous, or and more so famous than rich, because odds are, if you push the envelope that much, you're gonna have to spend as much money as your own. So, but if you're really, you gotta want to do this shit.
Yeah, you gotta want it. Like that's like you said, you gotta want to do it in whatever your heart and your passion is. That's what you monetize off of. That's what you follow, and that's what you put your energy into. Like you said with crypto, you wasn't really. It would. Yeah, you would try like, I want to, but you knew deep down like, I don't really have the urge.
It's to
follow through.
And it's a disciplinary thing too, but it's also knowing what resonates with you, and we know that generally speaking. I think sometimes we're too quick to follow what resonates with other people because it's familiar and it keeps us in the pack, and it keeps us like, but like, a little validation. You get validation from it, but generally speaking, until you're too lost in that sauce, you generally know like what you're, once you start going to the club the last 5 times, and you're like, I'm not having fun. Like this ain't. I'm not supposed to be here no more. Yeah. This ain't it no more. Like I'm in a different phase. I'm in a different, and it's what's important. And I think that's the biggest thing, not losing sight of what's important and why you're doing this. And even if why you're doing this does have something to do with like, hey, I want to, be able to provide for my family, but it still is rooted in it. But I love it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't see too many hoopers who are just like, I started because I was like, there's a lot of money in basketball, nigga. So I was like, hey. And so I just started hooping. And then, and I figured I could do this for like a year, probably get in the NBA. Like, nigga, it don't work like that. It don't work. I'm doing hooping shit. It don't work like this.
But that's the thing with acting. People think it's just like,
acting in music. No, people think they can just hop right in.
They just hop right in. Oh yeah, I can have a hit record like that. They think it's just so easy. And I always think about that, like acting, music, professions like that. People think they can do it.
Yeah.
But you don't think that when you see a doctor, I can do heart surgery.
Oh yeah. It's like, you're a neurosurgeon?
Yeah, I can do that shit.
Give me 6 months. Knock that shit out. No. Like I always say the barrier to entry, and the problem with it is, I won't call it a problem. It's more of the issue of why it's that way is because when Aretha Franklin was making records, everybody didn't think they could be a singer. A lot of people probably thought they could sing, and a lot of people had toyed with the idea and been like, it would be so great if I met blah blah blah. But they were not going to put in the grind or whatever Aretha Franklin did to get discovered, and then also be Aretha Franklin, and they probably did not ever count. But that's the difference. Aretha Franklin needed a whole fucking Atlantic Records building and studio and needed tape machines and like she wasn't opening up a laptop, grabbing one of these and being like, hey, 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 like, you know, like that wasn't going down. You know what I mean? So it was like the things were developed. So it's like the things that you were gonna put money into. Also, you had a stronger hold on the system. You know, like now it's something like what is it, 60,000? I don't remember what's that, but it's like 60,000 songs are uploaded on Spotify every day.
60,000.
It's something.
That's like YouTube. YouTube is like every. That's like 500 hours.
500. Over 60,000 tracks are uploaded to Spotify every day, and somebody broke down like what that is in a year, and it's like it's such a ridiculous number. It's like okay 60,000 songs based on the newest number. There are 60,000 songs being uploaded to Spotify every day. That's almost 22 million tracks per year. But then I had another one that we broke down though, like how many of those were actually label records, and it shows you how all the rest is really just noise. It's only like 1 million label record, 2 million label records actually being uploaded over the course of the year. Wow. But they're also, once again, it's like that's 2 million now, whereas before it was like you had a stronghold on the game. Yeah. This is what's going to get to radio. Yeah. Everybody can't get to radio. Yeah. There's no same thing with movies. Everybody couldn't like. Now everybody's a photographer because there's a camera on everything. Yeah. So now I'm a photographer. See what I'm saying? Whereas before, the guy had to go buy a camera. Yeah. Aretha Franklin days, she had to learn how to sing. Yeah. Some guy had to learn how to play piano. Some guy had to learn. This all started years before they got in that room. Yeah. See that level of dedication that comes with that? You know what I mean? Yeah. The engineer had to know how to cut tape and do. You couldn't just learn that overnight. No. You know what I mean? It was a specialty skill. Yeah. Same with making movies. Everything was photography, specialty skill. You had to go buy the camera. Yeah. You didn't just have cameras. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you had to buy the camera. Then you had to develop the film. Then you had to know how to develop film if you wanted to get that cool. Then you had to know it's work. Whereas now there's still work. It's just everybody has a computer, and the computer is pretty much as long as you have a computer, the rest of this shit can happen. You know what I mean? And
using technology.
And we got YouTube videos. Like it's
everything, man.
So then that gives false confidence though of, oh yeah, I can watch this guy for 45 minutes and I'll just go do it. And that's the issue.
Yeah, I could be an expert in 45 minutes. I just watch this YouTube video or whatever, and I got it.
It's easy.
That's
we have too much stuff kind of handed to us to get it going. So it's like I even compare it to vices like people have. Back in the day, an alcoholic was an alcoholic. He had to get his ass up to get his liquor. If it was cold, if it was or cigarettes, it could be fucking freezing outside, bro. Like you gotta go. I gotta walk down there. I'm getting my smokes. Yeah. Like, fuck that shit. Now it's like Uber Eats it. I Postmate it. Instacart. Like it's like even the dedication with most things isn't where it used to be. You know, like if Chick-fil-A not delivering right now, as much as I like Chick-fil-A, I don't know if I'm driving up there. And it's up the street. It's up the literally. Street. But if it's not on the app, I might not get it. Now I might drive somewhere else, but I don't want Chick-fil-A that day. Back in the day, it was like this is the only way to get it. You do it.
Now it's like it's so easy now. It's like everything's on a platter, so you're like, you gotta get you lazy in some instances. It's like, I can have that shit done. But when you think about it, you have to get up and actually
do shit. And it's the same with
movies and all of that shit. Like,
you gotta you just have to go scrounge the sources. You have to go actually meet people.
You have to go get the DVD. You can just put it up on your TV. It's more of an experience. The blockbuster.
Exactly.
So all of that stuff like played in.
And it raises the barrier of entry. And when the barrier of entry is raised, better content is made. And when better content is made, it inspires other people to make better content. But when you're not doing that and everything's a fast buck, then everything's shit. And You know what I mean? It's like it's like, but I mean, I feel like it's that shifting again because after the pandemic, they're like, oh no, we gotta get into movies. But like we were hit, you know what I mean? Like we gotta get whoa. Yeah, this is that money, bro. What? Like we was like what's and now even with inflation, I'm like, man, like what's a movie ticket gonna be? $30 now?
Almost. Yeah. If you see that shit in IMAX, that shit $30. Yeah, it's like 28, something like that. I just go see. I just go see. I just saw something in Dolby.
You got movie pass?
Nah,
Yeah, you might because my homie be go, but man,
oh, it's out. Like the trial is out. Like the new shit is out for it.
I think, yeah, well, I think they have like they still have the movie pass. It's more expensive than it used to be.
Yeah, but I remember they rolled it out and it was like, oh, movie pass. We're gonna have 3 tiers. Like,
oh, now it's that like that.
Yeah, because it was AMC. It was all AMC
right.
And shit. And then I remember I got the email like, hey, sign up. And I was like,
yeah, I think if you're gonna go to like 2 movies a month or something like that, I think apparently it's worth it. But I'm like, bro, like
that should be every day. It was like a movie every day.
Yeah. You could go 1 movie a day, and
I was like,
oh, they had
making money.
Yeah, they weren't. They were trying to get niggas in the building, and then they were like, all right, now that you're here, you like this, right? Now let's reel this back a little bit. But like, yeah, bro, like it's a tough sell, like to get people out now, and also like, you know, back in the day you went to the movies because you had back TV that was 27 inches. Mm-hmm. Like now it's like even broke niggas got 80 inches. Vizio's a motherfucker. So since that's the case, it's like unless it's something, or unless you're a movie buff, it's tough. And then also you're justifying. Let's be real. Who goes to movies by themselves? So you know, now you're saying I gotta spend $60 before I get my jujubes and my fucking popcorn. So I'm about to spend $70 at the fucking movies, and probably actually more than that because you know drinking. $75.
Yeah, you in there. You don't spend a note on movie. That's how that shit is, man.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a system that kind of they gotta kind of figure this out. Because I don't know how long. I think everything's gonna be digital. Oh yeah. Because I can't see people.
It will, but I feel like eventually. I mean, I feel like it's always a good place for movies.
But it won't be so many places to go see them. That's what I mean. Like
that's
it'll be
what
like,
who said that? That was
Lord of the Rings. J.R.R. Tolkien, or no, the guy who directed.
The director.
I can't think
of his name. The director.
Peter. No, I know
Peter something. Him and like I think James Cameron. And him. It was an article about them two. And they were like
Peter Jackson.
I think he was James Cameron. It was two. I know it was Peter Jackson for sure. Peter Jackson and one other big director. They were talking about how in like the next 10, 15 years, it's people not going to be going to the movies. They feel like nobody's going to go to the movies. They feel it's going to be more of an event to
go
to the movies.
Exactly.
Like it's going to be fewer places to go see it, and it's going to be more like, okay, Avatar 8 is in the
There you go.
We're gonna go see that. Because it's more. It's like that's something you have to see on the big screen. Exactly. But it's not gonna be like the movies that we stream that you can. Someone was like, oh, you don't really need.
You're not gonna go see Identity Theft.
Yeah.
Fucking for $70.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
And that's what they say. It's gonna be like probably like $50 a ticket. It says the price is probably gonna go up and all.
Well,
that.
they should make. That's why I feel like they should make drive-ins like really a thing again. Because there's a couple out here, and I've gone to them, and like the drive-ins. It's a better take because it's just something different, and you're still because, like I said, man, it's just tough. Yeah. It's just tough to see where all these places are gonna go. Just like now, we thought streaming was like, oh, it's a godsend, it's great. I don't need cable. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have the streaming services, you pay as much as you pay for cable. If you that's what I mean. If you got all of them, like if you really got Apple TV Plus, Hulu, you know what I mean, Netflix,
I'm getting a deal.
Yeah, no, because you already between Netflix, Apple, and what's it? You already at what's that $40, $50 $100, I'm up.
In there.
And you know, with throw some tax on that.
Not that. Damn, I don't know where I want to take this.
Yeah, where are you gonna go?
I wanted to get on the wire, but you were talking about like young actors. Like, what advice can you give like actors who are aspiring to get into this business? Like, what tips and tricks for like a new actor to get in it?
I would say utilize social media to the best of your ability, but find a way to still showcase your actual artistic talent in it. You know what I mean? Like in a sense of like, a lot of people just make reels of just anything. And it's like it's one thing to get a following and a number, but then that's not always respected to the same capacity. And it doesn't always carry over. But if you're once again, it's like finding the other things. Like I do think things are how we were just saying. This brings it back around to that. I do think things are easier now, but they're not really because now you must learn 2 to 3 skills if you actually want to win. So it's like if you want to be an actor, you do need to be shooting your own content, but shooting some content. If you can find a way to shoot content that gets something out of you, or that makes people want to watch it in 15 seconds, but it still showcases other there's a skill there. You see it and you instantly go, this don't look like reels I watch. This don't look like. That's a way to set yourself apart. And I really do think that is a big piece of it in today's society. Because everybody wants somebody who has numbers, because it's a money game. So if you have a following, that means each of your followers, or at least half you have 1 million followers, right? That's 10% of that is what, 100,000, and then 1% of that is what, 10,000. So at least I know like 10,000 people are gonna pay for it. Anyway, and that's like when you start breaking it down that way. That's how they look at it. Now that person usually can't act their way out of a plastic bag, but you got to figure out your way of combating that. You know what I mean? It's like, as much as it sucks, even for someone like me, to try to figure it out, but it is what it is. So I feel like if you're young and you're trying to get into the game, find ways to utilize it, but once again, that really resonate with you. And do it to an elevated stance where then it's like people are feeding into what you're doing, and it doesn't feel lazy. Make it more, make it your own.
I like make it your own, make it more cinematic.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's like that's interesting because now, like I said, you do have to shoot your own shit.
Look at Morgan Cooper.
Self tapes and everything.
Yeah, look at Morgan Cooper. He's a prime example.
Exactly. But it's like you have to do all of the shit now.
Yeah.
Like you have to light your shit.
You must do it all. Yeah.
You gotta do it all. So if you're already doing this for your self tapes, why not do it?
And not only
for your career, like do a little short or a little thing.
But check this out, brother. Here be the problem. Most people don't do that for the self tapes. They do the easy. That's what I'm saying. It's like the difference of identifying in people. Like if you want to do something, like do it right. And like this is no slouch setup. You just doing something, you want to do it right. But that's gonna carry over into everything else you do. You know what I mean? You're not gonna do anything in a completely basic way because you know that will not. It doesn't resonate with you, but it also won't resonate with other people because there's a million fucking things out here. You know what I mean? So I think it's more of that would be my first thing. Utilize the space, but utilize the space in a way that makes you stand apart. 2, figure out your lane. Just figure out like what are the things like, and be realistic with yourself. What are the things you really think like when you see people doing certain things? You're like, oh no, I can do that. Like identify those things because that will make you a better actor because then you will know where you need to sit in storylines or where you need to sit in certain kinds of worlds. You know what I mean? You can, once again, can't be out here trying to be the Will Smith of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We already got one. See what I'm saying? And if that is you, then you know, okay, well, I got to come back. I don't need to be going for these Carlton roles. I need to be doing, and I need to be showcasing this is my shtick. But if you haven't identified it, they're not going to identify it for you. Every once in a while, you'll get lucky and you'll just be right. You know what I mean? But generally speaking, when it's early in the game, no, like you find your angle. You know what I mean? Find your angle.
Find your angle.
You know what I mean? William H. Macy, Steve Buscemi. They're trying to be Leonardo DiCaprio. Career would have failed miserable. They're legends. Yeah. But they're legends because they found their angle. Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson found his angle. Yeah. He's gonna drop a motherfucker and yell in every movie. But you wanna know something? He found his angle. You know what I mean? Like it's a trademark. Yeah. We all know what Denzel looks like when he does it. They're selling a product. Yeah. They're really great as they do it, but they still selling a product. You know what I mean? And it's not by chance. Yeah. It's not. Nothing is by chance the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah, hell no.
That's thought through.
Yeah, that's thought through. Reset these cameras real quick.
Oh wait, it died again?
Yeah. It's about to.
That one is the left one dead? This one. Let's see. Somebody said something on the chat too. Oh, my boy Lewis said, "What's good?" Yeah. I was just in Vegas the other day. It was for his birthday.
Oh really?
Yeah. He's a DJ. He DJs with Tiesto and all those guys in Vegas. Incredible producer, like dance music. Cause go back to my story. You know I made dance music for like years. What? So okay. So back to this journey of the story. We'll go back. So what did we stop at? Barbershop.
Barbershop. Yo, yeah.
Because low-key, like
we were the whole
time. So but see, I like doing that because then it's like it makes it more interesting. Yeah. So then after barbershop, didn't do. After barbershop.
That shit felt so long ago. I was like, we started talking about movies and movie vibes.
Look, if it felt that long ago for you, think how long ago it feels for me.
So yeah, I did barbershop at the cut right to that. Yeah, love the barbershop. I'm playing Ali.
It's funny too because you literally could just cut them right into.
Yeah, they're not gonna know that goes. We have 30 minutes of other stuff.
Hey, look, I'm giving you all the parts. You can chop it out.
I'm gonna chop it up.
But yeah, so I did barbershop or whatever. After I got done doing that. From 10 to like 12, I didn't do any TV for real. But so at 11, going on 12, then I did the Lion King. The play
in Chicago.
At the Cadillac Palace, in Chicago. And so I was young Simba. I did that whole thing. And it was funny because even when I was younger, they had reached out a few times. They wanted me to possibly do Simba, play Simba. Yeah. But I was like so short. So it was like, like 8, 9, like I was still like the grass and shit would have been like kind of taller than me. I was really young. So then I got a little bit older, ended up doing opening night and with my Nala, Jeffrey Maya. What? That was literally Nala. And so so I've known Jeffrey literally since I was 11, she was 9, 10. Yeah. Like crazy. And it's like another shout out to her. Incredible to see where she's taking. But yeah, and so did the Lion King. After I did the Lion King, we were in talks with Jermaine Dupri at the time because I was still doing music. And I wasn't signed yet, but we were like in talks. So then I ended up going to Atlanta, and then from 12 to 13, 12 to like end of 13. Yeah, I lived in Atlanta. And I lived with like Jermaine Dupri and Janet. And so so I did
Janet
Jackson.
Janet Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they were dating.
Yeah.
What?
And so that was crazy. So it was like me at the time, me and Bow Wow were really close. Like I was going on all his tours.
What?
So like I saw the Confession tour like 6 times, and then multiple cities because JD did the whole album.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. So, and I was down there when they worked on all that. That was a crazy just like experience, but it was an eye opener too because it was just like another way. One of the first times I ever once again was like, oh wait, he not really an artist, but he making a lot of shit move.
Jermaine.
He's the producer. So you see people around, it's like, you know, sometimes people are like, man, when we gonna work, when we gonna do whatever. But he working on Usher, he working on Mariah. He doing so I was like the We Belong Together years, all that. So like also he was stupid up. So like flying on private just doing the whole like seeing all this really early. And also seeing it's like it's tangible. Because I was
how old were you when you were
12, 13.
12. So he was gonna sign you to Social Death?
Yeah, so but I ended up getting signed to Social Death.
Oh, you got
but so what happened was first I got signed to Virgin Records because he had the franchise boys. They were signed to Virgin too. That's what I'm saying. This that era, boy. And like okay, I'll put it this way. Like the people who was coming in the studio at that era was like, and this just shows you what era this was. Like, so first off, Jermaine and Janet is like that's at the crib. Then when I did the studio at JD Studio, it's like it's Usher, it's Jaquan. It's Bone, you know what I mean? It's the franchise boys. It's Bone Crusher. I like the golden era of like that. So it was dope to be like to be a part of that. Cause even bro, Scooter Braun used to drive me to Atlanta Hawks games and take me to Atlanta Hawks games because he used to like intern for Jermaine at Social Death.
What?
So I've like known him since I was like 12. Because he used to throw all the parties in Atlanta. And he was like the man throwing parties in Atlanta. And doing like bro, like this whole, it's just like, once again, you just see how people like level up. Like, and like, you're like, yo, this is crazy.
Nobody stays in one position.
Nobody stays in one. But that also puts that battery in your back to like, nah, I can't. Come on. What you talking about? Like, this guy's worth what now? Yeah. I gotta keep it pushing. You know, so but yeah, it was the golden era of that shit. So it was really cool like to have that as a part. I grew a lot, saw a lot. Then I was like, you know, being a kid, being bad and shit. Yeah. So I got sent back home. Reality. Nice little reality. Right. But while I was in reality, like 4 months in, I got an audition.
I'm about to say it's The Wire.
And I went in. First, they had me audition for Michael.
And you still in Chicago?
I'm in Chicago. Yeah.
Okay.
It was Ted Pascal casting agent. They had me read for Michael, and then they had me come back and read. And this is all on tape and stuff. They had me come back and read for Randy. And then after that, they were like, okay, they wanted to put a pin in me. They were like interested. They were like, we want to do a test and all that. Yeah. And then I got. But this also shows you I'm always pushing both. This is why when people ask me, well, what do you like better, like music or acting? Yeah. It's like, no, it's balance. Because like, you know, as an actor, it's like if you just acted, like there's a lot of dead time. Like and you're not building or doing anything. You know what I mean? Same with like music. It's like I feel like a lot of people who only do music don't have the same discipline and time, like understanding that like someone who has to be on a set and who has to, because you know what I mean. It's like showing up on time for a session is one thing. Showing up on time for a movie is like, bro, you
better be on time.
We'll never hire you again. Like what it costs us more than what we paying you for your ass to not be here. Like you know what I mean? Like what are you talking about? Yeah, like we losing more money by the second over your ass.
Yeah, that's fact.
Like so, it's like it's different. So, but I like the duality of both because it's like when if one slows up, I'm doing this, and the other, so there's always prime example. So then I ended up singing at they opened Disney World or Disneyland in Hong Kong. So then I fly out to Hong Kong, and then sang at the Disney World out there. And then the whole time though, like my dad's back here, like negotiating the whole wire situation, trying to make it happen. And then flew back, and then right when we landed, the next day we flew to Baltimore and I did a screen test, and then I with like everybody, and then it was like,
And it was like, yeah, well,
you're the guy.
What?
And so then I did that, and it was cool because like that's another show. Like it
It's
wasn't.
iconic.
No, by far. Like it's by far the most iconic thing.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's like it wasn't like glamorous or anything. Like their budget was slim. Like they're like you like everything shot on location. It's shot in Baltimore in the hood. So like, think about this. Like it's a primarily black show in the early 2000s. Like that's why if you notice, more people care about it now. It wasn't no award. Like more people care about it now than they did in the moment. Really... So I knew what it was, but I had never really watched it or anything. Well, it was just cool because like we didn't know how iconic what we were doing was.
Yeah.
But the casting is so on point, and like not even just say like if you watch any of the seasons. So it's even like with Mike, I'm like, man, like you cast the right people, the dialogue and the writing is A1. Storytelling is A1. So it's just one of those things like, and we had good chemistry because even, and this was something we realized later, but it was funny. Like we would in the beginning we'd all do school together. Yeah, we'd all like I'm talking about like we watching like the Family Guy movie because that's the era of that shit. Like the Family Guy movies out, we had the DVD box sets and like we were like real like kids because I'm 14, Jermaine was 13, Tristan was 16, going on 17, and Julito was 16. So like we're all like a year apart. Like so we're really like I'm picking on Jermaine all the time, like because he's the youngest. Like literally doing that. But as the show went on, and you know, if you see the season, you see how the separation kind of happens. Yeah. But it was funny. Like we started realizing, like, damn, we stopped having school as much together. We stopped having like we started shooting on different days. So it was kind of like organically we were separated. Yeah. And it was and don't get me wrong, we still like even when I did like the hospital scene, all that kind of stuff, like Tristan was there, but it was still one of those things like we generally didn't see each other as much as we did. And like when those first few episodes, like bro, we were together all the time. Like
you think that was on purpose?
Yeah, I think that because they they're smart. You know what I mean? Yeah. David Simon and Joe Lush, like they're smart. And then they had Robert Chu, who played Prop Joe. He was like, because he actually had brought he had an acting school in Baltimore, and he brought a lot of kids through the ranks and like taught them, and especially in a place like that where it's like you're very far from Hollywood. You know what I mean? Yeah. And a lot like 2 or 3 of his students were actually on the show characters, and then they had him coaching us for
that's like the first
say, like, first 4 episodes.
Like have you taken acting classes?
No, I've never. Yeah,
you've never taken an acting class.
No, I've coached like 3 times, 4 times for stuff.
Like your whole career. Yeah, and you've been doing this for how long?
25 years. Like 20, going on 26. Yeah.
It is at 25 years.
Yeah. No, but see, you know what it is? I think once again it's for me it was trial and error.
Yeah.
Once I got older, kind of understanding my lane, understanding what I'm really good at, and leaning to my strengths. But then on top of that, I'm just fortunate too that I got so much on-job training.
Like, that's the best training anyway.
And that's literally what it was. Like, and me and Denzel talk about this sometimes. It's funny because it's the same thing. It's like, and I don't know if he's taking acting, but I know a lot of it is on-job training. Probably most of it is. Yeah. So it's like there's certain instincts that I noticed that I'll just have, but I'll have them because they're low-key just ingrained in me at this point. Yeah. And I'm doing definitely at this point, but even once I started hitting like, I would say even when I did The Wire though, it was one of those things. It's like I was the most experienced person there. Out of the kids, I had my own show already. I've been doing this. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. It was the most heavy lifting I ever did as an actor to that point because it's a real show. Yeah. You know, but it's still like past getting to the performance aspects. The rest of it, like you got to remember, if you don't really, if this is your first time doing this, like even just certain things like hitting a mark, isn't just like second nature. You see what I'm saying? And it's like now I gotta hit this mark and try to be
because they don't teach you that in acting class.
They don't.
They don't know. Oh, they don't. No, they don't. They don't.
What?
Teach, so you usually
that sounds preposterous, bro. That's half the job.
Exactly, but that's the thing. It's like when you go to these they teach you how to act. They teach you these different techniques and stuff like that to get the emotion or whatever. But they don't teach you how to hit a mark.
Yeah, because
you don't learn how to hit a mark. That's like you said. It's like important thing. Like you doing a monologue, and you walking and talking, and then you slip off that mark. They be like, hey,
we gotta run it back.
You gotta run it back. Land on that damn mark because now you costing us money.
And you're costing us money, and now you costing yourself performance. Because sometimes you might nail it, and it's just like I need you to stop here, especially if it's something good because they really trying to get some shot that's real clever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or even saying with like shit like, and this has nothing to do about tangibles of actually emotion and stuff, but like even just dumb shit like not gonna sit here like this. This is a terrible angle. Like the cameras are here, so you do this, you cheat out, you open up. It's like all that kind of stuff, or not blocking someone's coverage. Yeah. Like, but these are all just things you either you do them or you see other people do them, and if you pay attention, you just learn. And over the course of fortunately being able to be on different sets and be able to do it, you quickly learn. Oh, well, this needs to be and this needs to be this. Also, fortunately, working with like other really great actors or like SNL vets and like all these kind of different people, you start to also see like where like even in certain shows, you're like, oh yeah, you could add humor here. Oh, there's things you could do here to add on to the character.
So watching other people picking up. Like, okay.
I'll never forget. What's it? Oh man, why am I drawing a blank? Chris Parnell. Chris Parnell. We did. He's the voice of Jerry on Rick and Morty. He's the voice of the progressive boxes. He played my father-in-law on Purgatory, and I'll never forget. And it's just like this is that like that SNL type. Y'all are funny. Y'all understand comedy in a sense. Yeah. Like, and he gets his shtick. Like, if you listen to even his voiceover stuff, he's Cyril. He gets what his lane is, and he nails it. And been nailed. But I'll never forget we were doing something, and he always plays quirky characters. Yeah. And he asked, he was like, do you guys have like a ruler or something? He has like props. And then he and as the scene's opening up, he's just using this ruler and he's measuring like the silverware and how far apart it is. And it's just funny because he didn't have any lines for the first 15, 30 seconds of the scene. Yeah. So it's giving him some business to do but it's like you get it's second nature. Why am I just standing here? Yeah. No one just stands here. Yeah. People are either on their phone or interview context is different, but there's no way we would, if you were sitting here playing video games, I'd be sitting like this and be like, so what's no, you sit back and
you be doing something.
If someone's gonna tell you no, there's no prop to have in your hand, they're an asshole because now you look dumb. Like, you know what I mean? It's basic stuff. Like, we know how we enter. All you have to do, or I won't say all you have to do, but like the way I also feel like my mind has worked. Worked for me is I look, you could almost it can borderline sound like stereotyping, but it's not stereotyping because what it is I can look at someone or I can look at people who I come in contact with and I just watch their personalities, and then usually, let's be real, you watch certain personality types, there's not that many crazy amounts per you run into the same types of people a lot of times. Every once in a while you have an anomaly. But like usually it's like, oh, you probably get along with y'all niggas kinda you know what I mean? It's like, so you can kind of fill in certain aspects of that. But then you can also, if you are fortunate to know certain people of different personality types over time, you can start to just see how they handle different things, how they handle different emotions. And then that also lets you see like, oh, there's a million ways to be angry. Or there's or not a million, but there's X amount of ways. There's people who handle anger in different ways. There's people who handle happiness in different ways. There's people who could be having the best day of their life and they barely crack a smile. Why is that? Like,
So like people watching in a way and taking like
Yeah,
like doing character work.
exactly.
Like, okay, yeah. I see.
And also, I try to sometimes like guess, and this is like weird. I've said to somebody one time, it's kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, but like I try to imagine even somebody who barely shows a lot of emotion, or even someone who does, try to imagine how they are at their happiest, and then I try to imagine what they would be like at their saddest, and what would get them there. Because everything is something different is going to get everybody there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, a person who never knew his parents, it's not going to be his parents. Yeah. See what I'm saying? So that might be your motivation.
That's interesting.
But that's not, you know what I mean? And also just like what does Jason Statham look like when he cries? Like you don't.
That's interesting.
You see what I'm saying? And what does that? Because if you can try to imagine people on that whole scale of emotion, it makes them more human, and then two, you kind of can see ways, if you know yourself, which one can you sell? Like I that one won't look good on me.
Yeah.
That one could. Now, how do I get myself there? You know what I mean? Like, because it's weird, but it's like I've noticed doing that and just trying to really understand the people around me with different personalities, and then also people you come in contact with and how they move. You just start to see certain things, and like I question, like if I meet somebody and they're just like a dickhead, it's like, okay, like why are you so guarded? Yeah, I know this comes from something.
The curiosity. You have to keep that
and that
about you is like, okay, like why?
Exactly.
That's what it is. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Break it down a character or something like that. You're like, okay, why is this person this way?
This way. What got them here?
You're like, what got them here? There's a reason for this. Like,
exactly.
Somebody comes like, man, fuck you, man. It's like, all right, they don't know you, so you can't really take offense. It's like, all right, they're mad. I can't. You don't know me.
You don't know.
But there's something.
There's a trigger.
That.
There's a trigger in there.
Something behind that.
Yes, big time.
Maybe somebody like me, like made you mad, and now you're like, fuck everybody look like you.
And you're identifying something in me that from somebody else who pissed you off, or something that you fail to have, whatever it is. But like, if you try to, like I said, you try to just like humanize everybody, like that you come across, and just think of like, how would they handle this? What's their what would they say? Who do I know speaks like this? Like when you get a character, okay, this guy's this and this. Who do I know who's closest to this? How would they and what would they?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You said this was off camera. You get those since '96. That shit is funny.
What did I get? I was like, literally. I'm like, you can't let the nose phase you. Because I told you, nigga, I've been getting nose since '96. Like, it's that you can't. That's just part of the game. You know what I mean? And it's like, if I took all those no's personally, I wouldn't have confidence to go out for the next thing.
Yeah, because you were a child. So how have you been able to cope with all? That's a lot of fucking no's. 25 years of no's. Yeah. Like, I mean, you had some amazing yeses along the journey. But like, how have you been able to like cope with those no's?
I believe I know what I'm doing more than I believe that they know what they're doing. And every time I get a yes, it proves me right. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
Like, it's what it is. Think of it this way. There's people telling me no who haven't been in the industry they're telling me no about for as long as I have. So you know what?
Yeah.
Cool. People don't see it until they see it. And when they do see it, I was right. All good.
What?
And that's how I look at it.
Good mentality.
You know, and then the other mentality is, you didn't hire me yesterday, or you might not hire me today, but guess what? I ate yesterday, I'm gonna eat today. It's not the end of the fucking world. You know what I mean? Like, and once again, that's why you build multiple skills, because it's like, and I have other skills. I have value. Also, when you build skills, it gives you a sense of value. So then you feel more confident walking into any room because you're like, no, I got this. It's just like if you've worked before, you're not as you might be worried about working, but you're not as worried about like it'll. Yeah, if you're working, like you said, it'll happen again. I do this. Like I have a resume. I got stuff to show you that I've done. But if you don't, sometimes it's like it feels detrimental. But it's like no, like okay, that's not the one. Yeah. The next 30 might not be the one. The next 50 might not be the one.
Know what you possess.
But know what you're doing it for, and know that like, oh no, I'm doing the work and I'm building it. Everybody loves the comeback stories, and the reason there's comeback stories is because they knew better than the people who were telling them no.
You know. I gotta know what about getting all these no's, and I'm always every time I see you always smile like that. Every time I think I was put me in the picture, you like every time I see you smile like I'm like what's up, nigga? I'm just happy all of a sudden.
Hey man, that's kind of brilliant.
But like I love how you bring that. Well, my question is with that, like, because everybody's always going through something, right?
Right.
With I was like, oh no. Like you said, running.
I guess it's 80. We can turn on the Air Force in if you want.
The other one's still going. Oh. All right. Back.
We back.
Back. But like, yeah, like I was saying, like I always see you always like good spirited and in a good mood. But like I said, like, everybody's always going through something, and with acting and stuff, you're supposed to put your personal stuff aside and not let that show through your work. Yeah. So my question is, how do you do that when you get an audition? Like, say you have something that's going on in your personal life.
How do you?
But you got an audition for something that's big, but you don't want that to show in your work because it's going to affect how you work. So how do you manage that?
I think other than like legit acts of God, which are like things you just can't, you could never factor in. Yeah. I think I've been fortunate where I haven't had that issue a ton, but the reason generally I've had that issue is because I do try to keep I think with most things, if you try to keep focused and you stay on a track you're supposed to be on, like I said, other than just like a completely crazy actor, you tend to be in a little bit better headspace to be able to, other than like possibly financial or something like that, which in that case you never can go into an audition thinking like, well, this could, because that's not gonna work out. It's always gonna be in your head like this could change shit. But that's not what this is about right now. This is about doing the best to my or hitting whatever notes and things that I know I need to do to get this. You know what I mean? This is about doing whatever work I need to do to show them that this is right. And staying focused on that. But past that, I just think it's more of like stay away from drama in your life in general, or try to keep a good circle of people around you, because I do feel when you have that, you have a cleaner mental palette. You know what I mean? And you're not, even if you are stressed, you know that you're not. Which one is that? That was hot.
That motherfucker hot.
That motherfucker hot.
You got the jam, nigga. This shit, that motherfucker burning up. It's like, oh, nigga, I need
send that energy.
Send that energy.
But yeah, I just feel like you just need to know, like, Yeah, that's a hard one because because I feel because in one aspect I want to be like, hey, be wary of your day to day because all that shit adds up. Like I feel like if you're just like anything, if you're working every day, focused every day, you're doing X, Y, Z, it's it things tend to accumulate, and that's just science. You know what I mean? Like, and there's even someone who's terrible at basketball, if they shoot 100 shots, one will probably go in. And it's just a matter, but it's a matter of you gotta wake up, you gotta do it every day. And I think when you do it every day, and like I said, once again, if you're an actor, maybe you can't go act every day. You know something? There's a piece to that puzzle you can do every day. There's something you can be building to get yourself on a set every day, or maybe there's some way you can be getting yourself closer to a set. Maybe there's some, you know what I mean? Trying to find, because even as a thing, like sometimes I look at it, I'm like, man, like trying to get a job even in the industry sometimes, if you know you have never had any real experience, if there's something, another skill you have that you can do, that'll get you through some doors so you can understand a few more things. And then also, if you're working in the industry, depending on your job, you're probably more likely to be able to get away from an audition than if you worked at a restaurant. You know what I mean? So it's, or you work for yourself and then you do shit on your own time, which is what you want to do anyway, because but that's a good question. I think it's tough because I know everybody would handle it differently, and it does depend on the situation, because I know there's certain things you can't get your head out of. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because like for me, I know I do, like I go to the gun range, I try to get myself like a happy place.
Right.
For that hour or two that I'm doing that audition, or
right?
Whatever, that time, just for a little bit. Then when I get out, then I can I can deal with whatever. But I try to like clear that space. Here we go through heartbreak or some shit,
and you're doing a multicam comedy. Terrence, what's that? Nothing. What? Who is this guy? He's terrible.
That's it. That's fact, man.
He looks sad. No, we don't like sad. No, Pfizer doesn't like sad. No, cut him.
Yeah.
Next tape.
That's how it is. You got to separate it.
Yeah, you do have to separate. And and like I said, if you keep yourself in a generally happier space, it's easier to get to happiness. You got good people around you. It's easier to get to happiness. If you're not really living how you should, you're not really taking care of yourself in certain ways, or doing certain things. Not to what's the word? Not to be a hypocrite, because I do tons of stuff I probably shouldn't do. But I do notice when when I'm a bit more routine, a bit more focused, a bit more not letting distractions get in my way, and having a purpose for what I'm trying to do. Oh, you'll do it. You know what I mean? Like mentally, you'll do it, because also it's one of those things like I want to do it. Like this is what I want. The big, I'd say the in my opinion, the biggest enemy to an actor with a dream, the only thing I would say is the amount of no's, only because, like I said about the confidence theory, you got, and this is what I've kind of started to do. I've been much pickier over the course of my career, certain things that I'll go out for. And the only reason I say that is because you look at something every once in a while and you go, this ain't me. Like, I know this ain't me. And it's not like the opportunity of a lifetime. No, you just go. They calling you, you just go. This is for the next Fox series, is blah, blah. Okay, you just go. You know it's already greenlit. Zendaya in it, you go. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. That's not. But if it's something and it's not that, and it's kind of like, but like, you're reading this, you like, none of these lines even sound right on me. This ain't. I've gotten to the point where sometimes, and this also knowing your shtick, knowing your thing, but it's like, this is a no I don't need to take. I rather build up and keep my confidence because I don't need that. Like I know I if it feels like it's gonna be a no, and you know it's and you know yourself. If you know yourself, that's just a, like I said. It's like Floyd Mayweather. He don't fight everybody. Take an unnecessary L. You know what I mean? Like, and not to mention, things are now on tape, so that's at least makes it easier. But like, not to mention, prior it was like, oh, you're gonna burn gas going there, so it's like maybe get a parking ticket. Yeah. So it's just like double edged, like an L on L. You know, it's just like and this did nothing for my, like so. I think sometimes that can be detrimental because sometimes people just with anything, everyone has their number, and their number, whether that's how much they can take of something, how much they can do something, how much at a certain point the light switch is just not gonna work. You know what I mean? And so you gotta be able to keep yourself in good grip. You gotta see little wins along the way. You know what I mean?
You gotta latch on to whatever you can along.
Yeah, because that'll keep you afloat until the next one. Yeah. And then
back here.
Yeah. It's like, okay. People seeing it. Yeah. It's just I ain't nailed one yet, but people seeing it, and I know that I'm on, like you said, I'm on the right trajectory. Exactly. But like I feel like that's a major thing. Like, yeah.
We're gonna be right back. We're gonna talk about some music and wrap things up.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's even go. We give it.
Yeah, nah, this is a good one. Good energy.
Hell yeah.
Enjoying myself.
Hot.
Yeah, you want to hit that air real quick?
Oh yeah,
right there. Ooh.
I was like, damn, I don't know. It was the same thing with this. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna rap y'all niggas. I don't know, that shit is impossible. Y'all niggas been doing this shit too long.
Yeah, just keep talking,
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
I enjoy it too, cause I like putting people on like game.
Yeah.
Cause there's so much stuff like, man, so much of this shit just like I said, like, and I'm learning this as I get older. So much of it is just like getting yourself. Like people be fucked up in this game because they're unconfident to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're not like, and once again, you got to do things to build confidence.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I just notice like the more I do anything, the more you get more refined, you get more okay, and then it makes you better at your craft.
Yeah. Building skills and stuff.
And on top of that, that makes you and that makes you useful to other people.
Yeah.
Like, because that's one thing I really noticed. Like, that's why it's so much easier to sell anything other than yourself. Yeah. Because it's like yourself isn't a tangible product until you make it. You know what I mean? Whereas like other shit.
Yeah.
Like, but a skill you have that you can link to my product.
Yeah.
I got a bag for that. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like.
It's not a tangible product. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's, Travis Scott in 2012 or 2011 is a tangible product. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? No one gives a shit.
Yeah. It's like, I ain't having it.
No, I don't know. He's getting a whole lot of I don't knows from people.
A whole lot of I don't know.
Hey man, you listen to the music?
Yeah.
Finally, got to figure it out.
That one. What's that one pod? It's like,
oh, now we can sell anything.
Yeah, that's what. Who said that? Girl, Courtney Kemp.
Okay.
She was like, people were presenting scripts and shit. but she was like, they don't make money or something like that. She was like, they don't make money. She was like, people are presenting the scripts like, hey, this is my script, this is a great idea, but nobody's doing it because it doesn't make money. She's like, that's all the business is make money. She's like, so go rewrite the script and formulate it into a format that makes money, and then people will buy it, and then now your name is worth something. Now people will pay you because of your name. So whatever I was like, damn, that's a good one.
It's just brand.
She was like, yeah, it's about money. She was like, you think people are making these damn you think people are making these damn transgender movies and all Black Lives Matter and all these things?
Oh no,
because they care.
They're catering.
No, it makes money.
Yeah, they're catering.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is gonna make money. People are gonna see this, so that's what we're gonna do.
And that's what people want. So bet.
Yeah, I was like,
you feed them what they want. You don't try to. If McDonald's was trying to make everyone a vegetarian, they'd be out of business. Yeah. That's not what you want,
huh? That's not what you want. Back.
We back. Oh, I know why that one was hot, because the sun was shining right through that thing.
Yeah, this motherfucker is the hottest.
Yeah.
Like, it's like running. That one, all the other ones good. Like this one got internal fan, so that shit is Gucci. Yeah. This one was like, nigga, this shit keep. I was like, what?
That's good.
It never cut off. I was like, what the fuck going on?
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course.
Yeah. That's it. Alright. Man,
Yes, sir.
alright. We back. What can I say? Talking to the wire. Oh. I have a question. How have you been able to maintain your success as an adult? Because you were a child actor.
Right.
Usually not a lot of child actors
Transition. Yeah.
So what do you attribute that to?
Well, what I'll say is after I did the back to the story. Right.
We got
So after I finished doing The Wire,
yeah.
did a few guest spots. I did me and Michael B. Jordan did an episode of Cold Case together. He's my brother and like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I also did an episode of ER, something like that. And then I cut my hair, finished high school, and then moved out here. But then I moved out here, I had a short haircut. You know, the standard.
Yeah.
Did the whole thing, and then ended up landing Suburgatory.
Okay.
And that was, I did other few guest spots like Lie to Me, and couple episodes Meet the Browns, Lie to Me, and those kind of one-off joints. And then I got Suburgatory. So the hello story.
Yeah.
Then went from Suburgatory to after I cut the hair, that put me in a different space. So what's kind of cool about my career, and I've noticed, is I've transformed like 4 times. Like I look most like my old self now because I have the straight backs and whatever again. Yeah. But like when I cut my hair, I'm a different character. Yeah. When I have hair, I'm a different character. Yeah. When I was a kid, it was a whole nother character. Yeah. So it was kind of like I was able to just kind of like rock that hairstyle for a while. I also did House of Lies.
Okay.
So I did like 3-4 episodes on that, and that was like the first thing I was ever like in a suit doing. That was cool. I did Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah. And then that's like and that was like a different pocket I was in. And then the last thing I did was FBI, which
Okay,
was
yeah.
but and then I had the twist,
the twist and stuff. Yeah.
And that's a whole different guy than I've ever been on TV.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I think one of the cool things was the hair, um, and fortunately, kind of, I have these. I don't, but I do. I have these like noticeable. They're not noticeable, but as far as like being on something that people just know or notice,
Yeah.
you have these little gaps. But those gaps have always somehow I think worked to my advantage because then it's like I spin the look, and then it's like familiar, but it's different.
So you're being able to change your
Yeah,
appearance
and
and your
yeah,
look.
it's really just generally like the hair, like, and but it makes me like even now, like now I'm about to start going into like I still look so young, that's why I still have my hair,
Yeah.
but like once I beef up a little bit more, maybe age 4 or 5 more years, yeah, then I'll probably take it back to the side shave or the whatever, but then not dyed like regular, and then it's like, oh, but if once I look old enough to actually play, the new doctor in the hospital or the blah blah, oh, it's gonna be a different look.
So you change your look based on the time period.
Yeah.
Where you are in your career.
Where I am in my career or what I'm trying to sell. So like even when I was on Suburgatory and all that kind of stuff from 2000. Oh, that's what I was telling you before about my boy. Like from 2013 to like 17.
Yeah.
I also made like house music, like dance music. So I was like, that's how I know like guys like Tiesto and like all, like I had like had songs with Tiesto albums with my boy Lewis I was telling you about, and Julian Zecco. They had like a group called Zecco Tours. But anyway, I was doing that kind of stuff. I was having my remixes played by like Tomorrowland, Ultra, David Guetta, every big DJ, Martin Garrix, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was another thing I just did. It was like a sub life of something I did. But once again, it was just having another skill that I could go do this, and it always gives me a purpose. But then what I learned from doing that carries over into, you know what I mean? So even with like music production, that's why I can produce so many different types of music.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Before I get in, when you were doing all of this stuff, like working with Jay Leno, Sinbad, Michael Jordan, and all these people, you were young, but do you think you understood the magnitude, or did you grasp what you were doing?
No, but I mean, I knew I was doing more than anybody I knew.
Yeah. When did it hit? When did it hit you? Like, damn, I was working with Michael fucking Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, you know what though? It goes back to like how I said I like how I look at people. It's like it hit me when I realized what Michael Jordan means to everybody else. Like to me, Michael Jordan just exudes. He's the definition of greatness.
Yeah.
Like literally, but like I mean in the sense of like not saying he wasn't, but like he is the definition though, which is a different level.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of great people, but like people will literally say he's the Michael Jordan of, or I mean he's the, you know what I mean, like, or like he changed an entire, like that's what that
vocabulary.
That's what I mean.
Tom Brady is the Michael Jordan of football. Like,
you see what I'm saying? It's like it's such an iconic thing, and then even the brand he's built, like it's so iconic. So like, I think for me, it's more of like I realized it when I got older, but it's also it's more of like, man, you were able to work. I worked with Michael Jordan. I have pictures and like got to sit and talk one on one. Or my dad was there, but like with Muhammad Ali. I've met Tiger Woods like on an actual working doing stuff. Mind you, this is all working. This isn't just like I met these niggas.
No, you guys.
So I just look at all those types of things and I go, well, you know what, man, you're going somewhere. You don't meet this many legends and work with, in a sense, so many legends and it doesn't pan out. And I think it's one of those things like that's what I mean by like when I see what it means to other people, you go, oh, so if that's the standard of greatness, you found a way to work with that and continue to do that. Yeah, there's something. Well, then it's more of like, well, there's something you should be learning from each situation.
Yeah.
because
it's a way like
soak
up that game,
soak up the game while you're next to it. You know, and that's the one thing I would say. Being young, you don't see that as much. But you know, I'm a black kid from Chicago. Michael Jordan's the biggest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
And this is in '98. Like, what are we talking about? But at the same time, and my dad's this way, my mom are this way too. That's what's up. You Michael Jordan. That's dope. You did a lot of dope shit. Pleasure to meet you. Let's shoot this commercial. what I'm gonna say. And I think that's like something that because my dad was that way, it carried over to me, and it's like kind of just even as I get older and as I become like a real grown man, you start to realize it's like, man, that's dope. You know. Especially when it's like not your man's. If it's your man's, then it's like it's different. It's like we up. You know what I mean? But if it's not your man, it's more of like, damn, bro, I respect the fuck out of how you got here. And you are a legend. That's dope. But like, that's not gonna change shit over here though. Like, I'm glad for you though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now if there's something we can work on together, but it's like we here, you getting paid a lot more money than me. Both here with the same camera. And it's selling the same Gatorade. You know, like, and I just think it's one of those things, like, and that's I've always had that mentality with people. It's just kind of like I'm in awe of your accomplishments because of your wherewithal to get there. But like everything's just another thing, just adding to the like Michael Jordan's great because he was great on more than one occasion. And if you just get used to just doing that and that becomes your normal, then one day you're gonna look back and be like, holy shit. Like I did a lot. You know what I mean? But it's like guys like that's how he moves. You know what I mean? Kobe, guys like that, that's how they move. You know, Ali, how they moved. You know, Tiger, how he moves. Like this isn't some shit they turn on and then turn off in the off season. That's how they exactly, and that's like I feel like that's the most for me. Is like that's the most what makes it iconic for me is the fact that, like I said, other people respect it to that degree, but then also like, all right, I've gotten around you even before I was grown because apparently I moved in a similar fashion. And you know what? And then guess what? Not have worked with him again. Nigga, who on the cover of 2K23?
Come on now.
Michael Jordan. So it's one of those
circle.
It's one of those situations. It's like, hey, he's still doing shit. Hey, my man, I am too.
Yeah.
Respect. And I would hope he would feel the same.
Yeah. It's like, damn, you can't remember this X amount of years ago. Now look where. That's a good story.
Yeah, you know, and it's just you still, and like I said, it's just you're still in the game. You still swimming.
You know what I mean? Still plugging away at that. Keep going.
Yeah.
Try to like
slide
into the music side. So what? You were already doing it as a kid. So how did you? Like, what made? Because I was like, was stuff going slow with acting? And you started doing the music. Was this like
no? So like music came first. Like in all theory. And so my parents music, vocal lessons, piano lessons, all that kind of stuff at a young age.
Yeah.
Got signed. I ended up. And that was the other part. I ended up coming back after I got sent back home, got the Wire, did all that. I ended up flying back because once again the brand was better, right? I just did the Wire, so I ended up getting flown back to Atlanta, and then that's when I signed to Def Jam, and like So Def Jam, and I had my Super Sweet 16, you know the MTV my Super Sweet, I had one.
What?
Yeah, like on like yeah. I had a Phantom pulling up on the south side of Chicago in 2007.
Yeah, that's
Lil Durk wasn't doing it then. But bro. So I did that, and I had you know who DJ'd it? You ever heard of D Nice? You know DJ D Nice. During the pandemic, he got huge. Where's the hats?
What?
You are you kidding me? No.
DJ D Nice?
I wouldn't say it like he became during the pandemic. He became a cultural phenomenon. Like Michelle Obama was in his.
What?
Hold on.
I gotta see. I don't know. I don't remember the name. D Nice.
You've definitely seen this guy. Like he plays like my point. Like he plays the Hollywood Bowl now. Like no, like shit. Like you never seen this guy?
I've never seen this motherfucker.
That's wild. That's pretty wild. Cause it's like it's also I put it this way. It's also such a like. It's such a. It was also such a cultural thing he did on the like. No, bro, he had like. He cracked like a million, like multiple million people or a million some people on his live, but it was like when I tell you everybody who's who was like checking in, like I said, Michelle Obama, Barack, like Hillary Clinton commenting in the live and shit, like and then literally like it was crazy, and then his shit just went. I mean, he already was like the man. Yeah. Like he was like. So even though my sweet in the thing, I go meet him at the record store in New York or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, so blah 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 the party. He's like, well, he's like, tell him what you've done. He's like, oh, I DJ parties for Bron. It's funny, all these names still matter. For LeBron James, Bill Clinton, da 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 da. And it's like he already was the guy, but it was like more on the low. Yeah, if you knew, you knew. Yeah. No, now he's the guy. Like it's kind of crazy. Like. It's like you would never do a Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Like
what? So he was DJing your Sweet 16.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it was like crazy, bro. Yeah, I threw that lucky strike at downtown Chicago. But anyway, so did that, and then that was like kind of like I was still in the artist lane. So I was supposed to be like a mini John Legend, sing, play piano, whole deal. JD ended up getting like go from Def Jam for like. But my whole experience in there is what got me like. I always wanted to make beats, but that's what made me like, nah. Like being a producer, like I'd be at Bow Wow's house, we'd be hanging out, having a good time, and then I go back to Jermaine's house. JD house way bigger. I'm like, man, this shit's crazy. Like, because he can work with multiple people, and he's doing and like I didn't understand it. I understood what a producer did, but I didn't understand business wise.
But just seeing that different dynamic from artist house versus producer.
Also, Bow Wow signing JD. JD signing all these people. He has all these different so you got So Def. Like we all know. Yeah. You feel me? Like we know what that means. Like so you gotta think of it this way. QC is what So Def was in its era. And JD definitely building and trying to get back. But like bro, like used to get off the leave the airport at Atlanta, you leave the airport, the first billboard you see was "Welcome to Atlanta," so home of So Def. Like no, like it was like that's what I mean. Like
welcome to Atlanta,
exactly. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's like it was just like it made me realize like yo, like this is, and I was around people who were producing some of the greatest and getting vocal producers. Yeah. So you start to so this is how the back end of this works.
So that's where you started to like want to start to produce
more. Yeah. And I was like, no, I was like, I want to start making beats and doing da da da. And so I started doing that.
And how old were you?
I'd say like 15. Okay. And when I started 15, 16, I was like taking it seriously. I wanted to do it. Yeah. Before that, I had made beats on like my keyboards and stuff because I already played piano stuff. So I always wanted to make songs, but also doing the artist thing too and seeing how that runs, it made me start being like, wait a minute, this might be doper to be the guy who's actually moving the chess pieces instead of being one of the chess pieces. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like this little analogy. You said you wanted to run the law firm.
Oh yeah. I was like, what do you want to do? You want to be the lawyer or you want to run the law firm? Like, because it's like, the lawyer's the guy who's going to go to trial, he's going to do the whole thing and stuff. Like, you know what? It's the same thing. Yeah. Actor and the agent. Yeah. Agency's got 15 of each of us. Yeah. We only got one you, nigga. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if 42% of their roster is doing poorly, there's still some money coming. Yeah. Nigga, if 42% of your life is doing poorly, ain't shit going on. You stuck, boy. And that's what I started realizing. I was like, wait a minute. And like I said, it's we all want a sleeker newer model. we don't care about it when it's a computer or an Xbox or something like that. But like, it's the same way in this sleeker, newer model.
Models.
Yes.
Everything is up. Like you got to get aged out. Okay. Now
this one
upgraded. That's
hey,
how I see. That's how we're like seeing in a way.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, probably 15 years ago, you know, Smart Water, Jennifer Aniston. Now, that's not as in cultural. We have Zendaya. Sleeker, more ethnic. This works better. More relevant.
Yeah.
Looks like now.
Looks like now.
You feel me? If this was the early 90s, Smart Water. See what I'm saying? It would just make more sense.
Yeah. It evolves over time.
Exactly.
It's like what's making money, what's more appealing. Yeah. So
and don't forget.
Man, so with all of that, like with the music, like when did you start to like get traction and like
okay, so
like did you stop acting and start focusing more on music or vice versa?
Okay, no.
Like,
so
you doing it simultaneously the whole time?
I always did them simultaneously because, like I said, it's like there's enough hours in the day. You know what I mean? Unless you're in a situation where you're just so popping, where it's like you got a tour or something and you can't do a show. There's enough time in the day. You know, so I started just going heavily into producing. Started working with. I worked on. Okay, all through high school, I was going heavy on learning how to make beats, like heavy, like to get nice. Yeah. Then by the time I moved out here, like mentor of mine, it's gonna sound cliche, but like no ID, he was like super supportive. He like had me play on like Nas's album Life Is Good. I think it came out 2011, 2012. So like, there's like a lot of like just grinding, just trying to figure out ways to like penetrate that world. Yeah. Then I got into the dance music world, and then that was kind of like, for a while, that was just like I was like, all right, this is what I want to make. This is what I want to do. And like I was saying even before, it gave me traction in certain places because not a lot of people like me know how to make that music, and not correctly. Yeah. So then that created, you know, it gave me an edge, and I learned so much about mixing, mastering, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then as I was doing that, I was like, okay, unless you're touring a lot, there's not a ton of money in that either. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I have all these skills which I've been building over the last whatever. How can I use these? Yeah. So between doing artist projects and, you know, getting songs like Which One Which and like The Purge, like that's when I started figuring out. After I did all that, I was like, all right, I'm going to do an artist project. I'm going to do an artist project and try to figure out how to get these songs places. Because it's one of those things like, yeah, it'd be great if songs are hit and it does a billion streams. But like, that costs money. That doesn't just happen. People put a lot of money into that behind the scenes. And that's just, you know, usually how that works.
But you were focused on like I know we talked about this off camera, but like getting them on places.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
finding a way to use the music in other places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and what's great about, or fortunate for me, is since I make the beats and I was doing the raps or the songs or whatever, it's one of those things like, all right, well, you want the song, I'm gonna take a beat.
But still come back to you.
Exactly. and that's became my like factor of like trying to find. And I think that's another thing. If you're in a creative space, you got to find a way. Like, okay, how can I make use of the content I'm making? Like even how, like instantly, even when we first started talking about this, and I was like, oh man, I was like, but now you got all the footage for if you want. Like everything can be used for something. Yeah. You know what I mean? And even if it's not going to be directly monetary, it can lead to it. You know what I mean? But it's just making use and making the right content that you feel that you know can be used in the most spaces. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that like once I started to figure that out, it's like, oh, I can make all these different genres of music, but then I can also, you know, I can make music I just want to make, right? But then also I can not only have in my mindset things to make this music a little bit more appealing to certain audiences, but then I also can just make music that is okay. This is going to be for this length, and then they always need this, they always need that, they always.
But you know what they wanted, you cater to that.
To that,
So
and you have to go and you have to build the relationships to even have the people to sell it to, right? You know what I mean? Like it's even the guy stealing a watch has to take years to learn the guy who fences watches, right? Like you know what I mean? It's like it's just the work of the game, you know.
So how did you figure out that like what's the steps to like selling a song to like a movie or getting it on a commercial?
Okay, so there's song libraries. That's one way to do it. Where you submit your songs to song libraries. Okay. They have a lot of different companies use them for different things, and that's one way you can get it. Look up different song libraries, try to reach out. It is one of those things. I fortunately got introduced through someone, and I had a song that they liked and they wanted to use in something, and then from there I built the relationship, and then just once again, like I was saying about if you have a real product, it's like, well, you guys need this, so like I'm not asking for shit. Yeah, I'm coming with something. You see what I'm saying?
You're coming to the table.
I'm coming to the table with something, and I can do it, and it's what you basically need, right? Yeah. So, and this is an opportunity for me. So it's that a lot of times I feel like that's the biggest thing is like people don't understand. Like one hand washes the other. Like we both you gotta bring something to the table. Yeah. Because if you bring something to the table, it's rarely people just straight up don't. Rarely it's that. Like and I only say that because I know a lot of people, and especially after a bad year, it's easy to feel that way for sure. Like or shit, a bad month, but 96% of the time, it's not. It's not you.
It's like it's a quick. It's something for something.
It's
quid pro quo. It's like people want to help you if you have something. Like it's
mutually beneficial. I can't get anything. If I just know that it's just more of a benefit for me to work with you than it is for or it's more of a benefit for you to work with me than it is for me to work with you. Yeah. Of course, I'm gonna be like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just like it has to be mutually beneficial, and like you have to be coming to the table with like, oh no, I don't get it, this, and then it's just like, all right, well, like if there's opportunity, I wouldn't mind giving it to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you're also coming with something I might need.
You're not just coming with your hand out.
And you're not just coming here like, hey, I'm good and I'm a star. Because back in the day, maybe. Now it's like, what's your handle? Show me. Literally, show me. Yeah. So you're not big here. So what? It must be YouTube. Yeah. Or it must be. So you're not a star.
We can verify.
Yeah, we can verify this.
So you want to take your word?
I can verify it because you're not verified.
Yeah.
The verification was the verification. Well, it's like it's fucked, but it's like it's true. So it's like, and that goes back to knowing your shit. Yeah. So but yeah, so I that's like music is always like that was one way I got into the syncing situation. And then from there, I really just took the time to try to I like met other sync houses that also, but like it is a very like kind of closed thing. But I also feel like the reason it is so closed is because if they're not using popular music for something, a lot of times it is a different way of producing. So prime example, your friend who makes pop beats might not really know how to make trailer. See what I'm saying? It's a very different. Not saying it's a whole different like skill set. Yeah. But it's a different approach. It's a different, like you were talking about the scripts. It's a different format. You got to learn how to format it. You got to learn how to, and a lot of that helped me making dance music because dance music is so heavily based on like mixing and like a dance song. Like unlike we know a bunch of rap songs mix terribly, but they bang. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen in dance music. Like you do that. No, everything sounds no, but like everything sounds good too, or the record doesn't work. Like a poorly mixed dance song won't get released. the reason is because like the way it's supposed to be played at festivals and stuff, right? Yeah, yeah. So it has to like sonically cut through to be played in a place where there's thousands and thousands of people, which is like another reason why in a place with thousands and thousands of people, a lot of times current rap music doesn't always translate to the back because 808s is bass. Bass doesn't go that far. High end goes that far. See what I'm saying? Frequency wise, like an 808 will get lost. It'll get lost halfway through the crowd. Damn. And it doesn't. And it's not gonna hit you. You like really think about it. If you're at like a Coachella, you're not gonna feel the 808 of a rap song like you're gonna feel it in your car. You see what I'm saying? But like a dance song will have the same effect, like sonically. You know what I mean? Like, but what they lose is most of those aren't. It's some guy DJing. It's not like somebody jumping across the stage and you're rapping the words with them. So it's like you catch the it's a disconnect in both. But like so that. Learning that, and once again, like I said, that's why you do different shit. You just learn something niche, and then you learn different niches, and then like the dope thing about it is that you own it, right? Yeah. We'll talk about like what's the importance of the owning your like owning your own shit, like you said, because like sometimes they do that, like you're like, oh, this is a great song, but we don't really want the vocals, we just want the beat. All right, cool. Well, I own that too. I own that too. I'm not beholding to anybody. And that's something I feel like in a lot of, even with someone. Damn, we going. This shit going. It's like we going. I'm like, damn, is it 30 minutes? Damn, that's 30 minutes? Yeah. Oh, shit. That's crazy. Yeah, this is going in. Damn. It's going by so fast. It is. I'm like, shit. I'm being editing this one. I was like, see, 4-hour streams. Yeah, 4 hours. Told you. Said, told you. Oh, it's too hot, baby. Gotta run for showtime. Gotta run for showtime. So long ago. Alright, man. Alright, we're gonna wrap things up. Alright. Just to wrap things up, this is the importance of ownership. Yeah. Ownership, yeah. Well, yeah, because when you so especially when you're not stuck in a label situation or anything like that. And that's another reason I've always been tried to be like, free until like but more so because then that gives you the freedom to I make music. It's more legwork. Yeah. You know what I mean? Than if I was in a publishing deal or something, someone's just sending it for me to whatever. But that's another person you got to cut in. Yeah. And that's another thing that's out of your control. You know what I mean? And it's good to relinquish the control of things when you know it's going to get handled correctly. Yeah. But until your brand has value, it probably won't be. Yeah. And so you got to try to do as many things as you can in your control. Because also, like, at the end of the day, I continue to make songs, continue to put them out. And when it's all said and done, it's my catalog. Yeah. So, once again, shoot 100 buckets. Yeah. Let one or two go in. No, it's a wrap. And then it's now the whole catalog's worth something. And it's all stuff that I would have owned. Or at least somebody's coming in trying to sign you to something crazy, but it's like at that point it's worth it. Yeah. So yeah, it's the footwork. It's always harder doing things on your own. It's always harder coming up with the original concept. It's always harder, but if you figure out how to do it and succeed at it
go.
You know,
like it all takes one.
It only takes one. You know, and you can take it to other levels and fuck around, do it 30 times, do it 100 times. But if you really do, and you know, and that's different than just like, it's like, you know, you can have a hit record of now that sounds like everything else, or you can have whatever that record is gonna be that changes radio. You know what I mean? And that's gonna net you more than any. You know what I mean? It's like there's just certain levels of which if you get or if you can land those, it's like you know. And then if you want to do it again, people are begging you.
Oh yeah, because you already set the precedent. You already have a track record.
Exactly.
Doing good work, so now your name is worth something.
Exactly.
Now people gonna pay you good money to have your name attached to it.
Because you know why, right?
Why?
Because whatever they're paying you, they're making more.
Gyms.
No one's doing you any favors, my guy.
Hell no.
If I can pay you, if I can one day say, hey, I'm giving you $40 million for a movie on Paramount, you at least an $80 million nigga. And that's a fact. And don't forget it.
Never gonna pay you what you worth.
Never. Never.
Oh, you definitely 80 million.
LeBron James was a billionaire 10 years ago. Just the NBA had to make theirs first.
Let's make theirs first.
You know what I mean? Like, hey.
Damn, yeah, that's
what it is.
It's the business, man. Business.
It's the business.
I got some speed round questions.
Speed round.
Speed round. You know, wrap it up. These are just quick, you know, first thing that comes to mind. All right, here we go. Okay. Who would you like to share the screen with? Other than like the big, you know, Will Smith, Denzel, like maybe up and comers,
right?
Like who's not of that, you know, status yet?
I could share the screen with ooh, that's a good one. I'm trying to think, cause I'm like there's so many people, but I'm trying to think of who's a bit more up and coming. Who would be honestly, man, I would go on the limb and say like any of my niggas, like Denzel, you, Patrick, like no, cause in all honesty, if it's gonna be somebody who's up and coming and do it, like it's gonna be like I want it to be home team. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If now we going into then be like, okay, yeah, for sure, John Carlos won.
Yeah.
You know, I would say sharing a screen, literally Jamie Foxx would be one. That would be dope. Steve Buscemi would be one. And what's his name? Stephen Root. He's one of my favorite shows is King of the Hill, and he does the voice of Bill, the one with the wife beater on.
Oh shit!
He does the voice of him, but he's also he's in No Country for Old Men. He's in
Javier Bardem.
Yeah. When you see him, you'll go, oh, he's in mad stuff, but he's just a guy like.
Okay. All right. On the music side, who would you like to collab with?
Who would I like to collab with? Now there's a lot of people, but off rip.
Top 3, 5, whatever.
Top 3. Max Martin would be one. No ID. That'd be another one. Like actually, like we did a whole track together. Yeah. And then Pharrell Timbaland. Yeah, like those are just like those would be like bucket list. Like this is dope. You know what I mean? Like this is dope. And like there's other people who are they're in the legacy category, but like man, if I could ever do something with I technically have because he executive produced Vibe at Sinbad, Quincy Jones. But if I could do something musically with him or like Stevie, like that would be like yeah, it's different.
Okay. This is a fill in the blank. These next two will be fill in the blanks. Okay. The first thing I do when I get to set is blank.
First thing I do when I get to set is crafty. Gotta see what's going on over here. If it's a good set. If it's not a good set, it's trailer. Trailer. And I'm sitting there and I'm just waiting.
Oh, oh. The first thing I do when I get to the studio is play.
First thing I do when I get to the studio is roll a joint. Yeah, that's probably what I'm doing.
Oh.
And honestly, in reading. More so, I'm rolling the joint, rolling a smoke, but also
read a book?
Reading the energy.
Oh, reading the energy.
Or like the room. Or like what everybody's up to. Or what's the dynamic in the session. Or what's the, because it all depends on like knowing what you're there for, and then also like, what's okay, this person. And identify who everyone in the room is, because like, let's be real, so they're never usually just like the artist and no one else. It's like,
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
If I were acting or doing music, I would be
psychiatrist or a lawyer.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. The first thing I do when I get an audition is
read it multiple times and then go to sleep. Because when I go, ever since I was young, I read it and I go over a few times, and then go to sleep and wake up. I know.
Yeah. You say it.
It's kind of one of those. Like I run, like I'll run it. I'll like I'll shower. I'll go through it. Pass out. Like
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. If you could only choose one genre to act in for the rest of your career, what would it be?
Drama. Yeah. Be a lot more work.
Yeah.
But because I know the kind of stuff I just like to watch.
Yeah.
But I like dark drama, like where there's it has comedy in it, but it's like
a dramedy type of thing.
Yeah, okay, like even when I think of like shows like The Sopranos is a drama, but they do a really good job of keeping comedy in there somewhere. Same as like it's not drama like No Country for Old Men, where it's like that is just drama. Like they're you have to, if you find any comedy in that, you're finding it in characters sometimes, but like mostly that's heavy. Yeah, so like that kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
Something with lighter moments, but that is
dramatic. Besides acting and music, I'm also really good at playing.
Besides acting and music, I'm also really good.
Really?
That's my. You don't want none. You don't want none. I've been cool my shit. That's one of the few, because after you said that, I was like, damn, he knows my Achilles heel. I'm good at nothing else. Okay. And then I was like, wait, no. Pool. Pool. I'm good at pool.
My Achilles heel.
Yeah, literally.
I got 3 more. What's your favorite movie soundtrack?
That's a good one. My favorite movie soundtrack. There's this movie called Synecdoche, New York. Synecdoche. Yeah, it's a part of New York. Synecdoche. And it's John Bryant. He's a composer, and he did it. And it's one of my favorite soundtracks. It's a really cool soundtrack. But like John Bryant, one of his more notable things he did help Kanye with late registration. But he also did, which is another really good one, the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind soundtrack. You know Eternal with Jim Carrey and what's her name? Eternal Sunshine. It's like fire movie also.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. But it's a serious movie. But he just does. I like the way he does soundtracks. Like they're not as like huge and orchestral. They're more like a little quirky and like somber. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like I'll send you some stuff. Like it's but he's like one of my favorite composers. Just because it's not your typical like. I feel like the stuff he does is very like unique to everybody couldn't pull it off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's not just like okay, there's a horn stack. That type deal. Yeah.
If you ran Hollywood, what's the first thing you would change
If I ran Hollywood, the first thing I would change about it, I would make more. I would I would make more. I would place more creatives in positions to determine what goes and what doesn't. I'd have more creatives in the room when it deals with greenlighting things. Yeah, like like because and don't get me wrong,
more so suits and like.
And don't get me wrong, I'm smart enough to know I would never make a fucking creative the head of that.
Yeah.
No, like don't get it twisted. Because if I ran Hollywood, this also means shit's been working out for me lately. So more so though, it would be more of like I would just go. Y'all need more creative input. Like the same way it's like realistically every company's like, we should have one black. And maybe a gay Asian woman.
Yeah.
This sounds right. Like, it's that, but it's like, they're not wrong. They're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But they're not wrong because that is perspective. You know what I mean? And it's like, you need that perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's like, especially you go and fuck around and make, like you're saying, these like, some of these like black movies that are kind of like black trauma movies and all that shit. It's like, it would be helpful.
You need that perspective.
You know what I mean?
On the inside, that's gonna be like.
But there's also somebody who needs to be there to be like, no, okay, well, like I get what you're saying. Like maybe we can meet in the middle here, but like, because now it's too much of a hierarchy. Like you have the show. Yeah. You're the creator of the show. We pay you. You work for us. Fuck off. Mm-hmm. Like we say this, and this is what we feel. Unless you're somebody who's already had a bunch of hits, but usually you already know the game by then, so you're not even. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, so.
That's good, man.
Damn.
Last month, the apocalypse happened. You stuck in the bunker. You're gonna be here for a while. You got one TV show. You're gonna binge forever. You got one movie and one album.
One TV show, one movie, and one album. One TV show.
King of the Hill. Oh shit.
And I'm gonna be real with you. It's a tough one between King of the Hill and Sopranos. It's a tough one. But if I'm in this bunker, the Sopranos might be a little too heavy. You know what I mean? That might be a little too heavy for every day. Like it's not a happy ending. Like King of the Hill is a car. And you know what? I might even swap King of the Hill just for the sake of Simpsons.
You may never run out of that shit.
That's my point. I'll be sitting in that bunker and be like, man, season 38 is ass. Let's watch it again. Like that, but that time it would be. But if we were, it's between those three. But if it was a time thing and I was being logical.
Yeah, you watch one every day. It's still not run out. You still won't hit reruns yet.
Never, yeah. And then album.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I was like, man,
you only get one, nigga. You only get one.
What up? No bullshit.
That was my first album I ever bought.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
And it was the censored
I think I had a censored blueprint too, but I also had I almost I had a real one too. I think the real one I had was censored, so I got a bootleg. But man, like that's yeah. I like how we both just say yeah.
I was like, that was my first album.
Yeah, that might be one because and it's tough because I'd be like, man, this is all I could listen to for man. But at the same time, that is a quality fucking album. And from top to bottom, I would miss my Motown though, because I do like old school music, like it, and maybe not necessarily a full album, but like man, if there was like a fire oldies mix album that got like 30 songs, I might I might pick one of those. And then the last one was which movie? Movie. Movie. Um, either No Country for Old Men or There Will Be Blood. Because I like those. Like I've already seen them a million times. Actually, no. I take that back. That's complete bullshit. It would be Rush Hour 2.
Rush Hour?
Yes. Because once again, I'm supposed to be in a bunker for this time. That's some tough shit to watch. But Rush Hour, I know all the lines, and it's net, bro. I've seen it over 20 times for sure, and it's never got.
That's the one where it was
Heaven on Earth. Heaven on Earth. I take you.
Yeah, I take you. Hurry up!
Hey, don't you ever rush a black man in the buffet line. Oh, your friend have big appetite.
Yeah. What did he say? He said, he's like, now listen here, little
apparently, you don't hear too well. He said, don't let the bathroom fool you. Get your little ass up and get this. Oh, bro, that shit never gets old.
That one was fun,
bro. And then what's the other part? We could have been some.
Yeah,
you one crazy ass bitch. That movie is, and the OG one's incredible too.
Yeah,
but man,
that second one, that's one of them second ones where it's like.
Yeah.
Like, usually it's hard when you do.
Usually like the second one's trash. Yeah.
That one, that shit was funny.
I know you didn't take another job on my damn vacation. Man, that's the best.
Rush Hour 2.
Rush Hour 2.
Bro.
Man, this is a pleasure, man.
Good one.
My man.
Hey, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this.
Same.
Hope y'all enjoyed, man. Marshall dropping gems everywhere. He has an amazing story. This is a great talk.
Thank you.
Y'all like this. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Follow the station on Apple Music. Until next time, we'll see y'all next week. New guests, new gang. Yeah. My God.
Yeah, man. That was fun.
That was. I appreciate the time, brother. I was like, man, we was going. I was like, I don't want to catch y'all. You going in? I was like,
nah, man. I love it. Hey, any good clips too, send my way.
Yeah.
I love dropping gems. Or just shit that I wish I knew.
Yeah. That's the shit. Like it's been. That's just crazy to even think about. Like you said, 25 years. Yeah. That's wild.
You want to see something crazy?
That is wild. Like I don't even think it's like 25 years. Like I've been doing it like what 10, 12 now. Since 96. Nigga shit blue, nigga. That was I never seen that. You like, yo, 96?
Yeah, nigga.
It's like, yeah, nigga.
That's I mean, yeah, my IMDb starts in 95, so. Yeah, man.
96. Nigga still
plugging away.
That's when Jordan got that ring.
Yeah.
That was a 3-peat. Damn.
2 years later, I did the commercials.
That's wow.
They flew me to to All-Star game in New York with Gatorade in '98. So I don't really remember. I was a kid and I was just throwing everything.
Yeah, everything's like a fucking blur.
Me and my dad saw Kobe and Jordan in that All-Star. Remember? That was the All-Star game.
Yeah, because that's when they showed what's it called?
The game or whatever. The Last Dance shit.
Yeah. Is that the last? He's like, I was a fucking teammate. I was basketball. That's what it was like. Yeah, that was an All-Star game with him and Jordan. That's when Kobe was making up noise and
Kobe was trying to show off.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, man. It's like moments like that. You got like it. That's how I be looking at like the world. It's like you got to be ready, but it's also like, yeah, he played basketball too. Like that's Kobe's mentality.
Yeah.
I respect him.
Yeah.
He is low key my idol.
Yeah.
But no, like I'm gonna go at you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go at you, and I'm gonna do it because I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing.
I respect you, but I do this shit too. Like, nigga, I'm that nigga too. Like,
oh, you gonna respect it because I'm gonna be doing this where you go.
Yeah. Because I think he said that too in the
There he was.
In the shit. He was like, hey, I think it was the first time he was playing Jordan. I think the teammates were all scared of Jordan. They was like, hey, whatever you do, don't look him in the eyes and all this stuff.
That's what, but see, that's
Jordan
what
was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm that too. Like, I'm that.
Yeah,
I'm like, what he is, I'm that too.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that shit gave me chills. I was like,
that's even like, bro, I won't lie. Like, when I did House of Lies, all my scenes were Don Cheadle. I would be doing it.
Yeah.
I would never call myself just kind of person. I'm always prepared.
Yeah.
I was hyper prepared. I also had monologue. So the growth product of da is this and that. Like I had like shit I had to say, boy. Like it was like, because I'm doing this like, it's like JR, what you got? So the bunch of words niggas don't say. Like, but I'm not about to fuck this up. With Don Cheadle sitting
right there.
And because guess what? If I'm fucking up his time. Bro ended up doing three episodes of that, 4 episodes of that. Every scene I ever had was with Don Cheadle, Kristen Bell, and Ben Shapiro.
What?
Yeah.
So he was with the motherfucking
the
lead, like the lead.
Yeah, I didn't do no scenes with no like side, like no, I was with And so that I won't lie, that was like one of those times, like those times I was like, but at the same time,
yeah, you got to.
But at the same time, nigga, I'm here too. You Don Cheadle, you the man, and I can learn a lot from you.
But you in the
nigga,
same.
I'm here too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I know, I know I'm gonna put my best foot forward. You know what I mean? And I know that I know some of what I know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know everything you know. I got some, but I'm gonna definitely hold my own because I wanna. Nigga, for 30 years, I'm gonna be you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be doing it. Maybe it might not be in the exact same capacity, but whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna be you or I'm gonna be bigger than you. And that's just my way of looking at it.
And that's
or I would hope at some point I'm in a position where I'm hiring motherfuckers. Oh yeah. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's more of my goal.
Well, you already in it because you feel me? Like you already like just on the music side. Like, you're owning everything.
Yeah. I want to I want to have my own. It would be great to be able to have your idols on a show that you're producing. See what I'm saying?
It's like, nigga, I just gave Don Cheadle a job.
That's what I'm saying.
That's some other shit
that's
right
some
there.
other shit.
It's like, wait, what? Yeah, I just hired that nigga.
Yeah.
Technically, he worked for me.
Or having the pool to go, oh yeah, I think we should get Don.
Yeah.
and go, oh yeah, we'll reach out because this is your choice and this is your shit.
Nigga.
And this is your, you know what I mean?
That'll be
different. And there's, hey, Mark Wahlberg does it. You know what I mean? Like,
that nigga.
There's a way to do it. It ain't easy, but I know there's a way to get it done.
No, there's a way. I mean, you feel me? Like, you see motherfuckers like
I think he does it.
Yeah,
I see that. I hope this nigga does it. What's your call with Tyler? But the nigga is a millionaire. No problem. You know what it also is?
It's what?
Once again, I don't. What a guy like Tyler Perry for me is like, oh no, I get it. Like, nigga, you Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm mad at that. You figured out how to be Walmart.
Yeah.
That's a different level. I really like this shit. I don't necessarily want to be Walmart if that's what being Walmart is. I'd rather be like. I'd rather do 2 or 3 other than the shit you gotta do to get there. I'd rather have 2 or 3 really great projects under my belt when it's all said and done than be one of the biggest blah blah blahs in the game and just have a bunch of bullshit.
So like quality of work.
Just quality work. Like,
I'm always curious about like that because like they said like not everybody like fuck with Tyler.
Yeah, and it's not
like
I'm not mad at his infrastructure and all
yeah.
that shit. It's his infrastructure. Like that's what I respect. Like,
yeah.
But it's more of like, oh, but I see how you, and I see what you like.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying like it's where like early on, like I fucked with his like earlier shit, like
yeah, it was a little more because it was a little more heart going into it. Because
but now like we got like bruh and sisters and all this.
It's
shit.
just stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's